and center's rolling. Yeah, I was fucking wrapping my arm here. Right out there trying to flex.
See Brent's
I think it
arm
was
after?
around one. What?
See Brent's arm after?
The elbow?
Didn't even make sense.
Oh, right now.
It got
Okay.
worse.
No.
Way worse.
Really?
He sent me a picture. His whole arm turned purple. First, it was a little tiny bump on his elbow. We were out that
Get
night.
in closer. Get into the mic.
But we're not talking
Yes, we
about
are.
podcast now, are we?
Yeah, we are. Go. Keep going. Yes, we are. Keep going. I'll edit it out. Keep talking. Keep going.
Yeah, his elbow's fucked. It's purple. It looks like a goddamn eggplant. Well, not anymore. It was, though, yeah.
What was it? Like, what did he do?
I don't know. We were just one morning we woke up and he had a little bump on his elbow. It was like a little bruise, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And his whole forearm turned purple.
Yes, fine.
He said it was fine. He got it checked out, and it was weird.
Jesus, man. Yeah, no, I didn't. All I know was that he thought he had gonorrhea. No, not gonorrhea. What was it?
In the arm. Gonorrhea of the arm.
Gout.
First case.
No, gout.
First case of arm gonorrhea.
Fuck.
Jesus, man.
No.
Luckily, nobody comes to you for news.
No.
Gonorrhea, man. Gout. Something like that. Syphilis. What?
He thought he had gout. Seriously, because he went. Because he went to some after party or somewhere, or he was talking to somebody in the bar or something. I don't know what it was, and he's like, somebody was drinking with was like, "Yes, boy, that's the gout." Looked at it, and Brent totally believed him. Some like drunk fella.
It's the gout. You're just at the 1600s. Gout.
Well, dude, he was saying it for days.
Brent's a young, virile man.
He was saying
Do
it
you
for
get
days.
gout in your elbow? I didn't know you got
Well, he
gout
was
in your
convinced of it because some drunk fella told him that he had gout in his elbow.
elbow. Yeah, that's a guy that would know.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Alcohol does
Anyways,
it.
he went got it checked out, and it wasn't gout.
No.
It was he banged it.
Just a big ass.
And then he thinks he was loaded, and he bumped it on like the vending machine on the way back to his hotel room. That's what he was saying. The vending machine, great stories coming out of there. Let me tell you.
Stories coming out of the vending machine? The vending machine?
If that vending machine could talk, buddy.
Cut.
But yeah, thanks for joining, Brian.
Yeah, boss.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's great to see you again, you slim fuck.
Thanks, man.
Right?
Trying my best.
Looking
What setup you got, boss?
Yeah.
This is VOCM or what?
we're coming.
Taking over, Petty.
I got a little introduction here now.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to hit a little introduction.
Let's do a little introduction for Mr. Brian.
Here we go. Today's guest has been a stand-up comedian for nearly 15 years. He's performed stand-up in just about 30 countries around the world. He is the founder of the Stand-Up Seoul Comedy Festival in Seoul, Korea. He's a two-time finalist for Canada's top comic. You've seen him at Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, Halifax Comedy Festival, on The Debaters on CBC, as the wife-beater-clad fodder in the wildly popular Outhouse sketches, and most recently, headlining the Best Con Comedy Tour with Mike Lynch and the podcast's very own Colin Hollett, introducing the biggest thing in Asia and the pride of Mount Pearl, Brian Aylward.
Boss, that wasn't uncomfortable at all.
What did we say? We were literally talking about what his reaction was.
We were saying, like, what was your reaction going to be? And
Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Yeah. When your buddies read your bio in front of you, it doesn't provide the comfort that I'm looking for.
You get so...
Fuck, man. So awkward.
You nailed it. You said he was going to...
I told you that's exactly how he was going to react
His
to it.
favorite day is Tuesday. He never goes out 2 weekends in a row. It's too much, man.
Oh man, it was. I didn't treat it straight out of your bio.
I was saying that you were gonna get like that. You're gonna get like, Jesus, boys, calm down out of it, right? Right? Like I knew it was gonna say like that.
Say that, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, or you're gonna be like, oh, I said you're gonna be like, calm down out of it, and be all awkward. And but what I said was like, I was like, he's gonna act like he hates us. Like deep down, he's gonna fucking love that. Yeah. But I was like, but he's always too cool to be like, Jesus, why don't we uncomfortable at all? Take that at all.
I saw him squirming over there when I was doing it too.
As you're hearing the stuff, you're thinking, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, did that. Fucking right, I did that. Goddamn right, I did that thing.
I left some shit out too.
Yeah, right? When you said 30 countries in his head, he's thinking almost 40.
Geez, should update that now.
31. 16 years.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's almost 2 years, man.
Right. Here we are, boss.
But yeah, I said you're either going to do that or you're going to do fucking as a like, oh yeah, good job there, Tyler. No trouble to tell it was Tyler did that, and that fucking bailiff's over here, and just get right into fucking grilling me.
We'll save that.
Yeah. One of them was right. You nailed it.
Yeah. Oh.
What a setup was, Deli.
Yeah. So like this is obviously episode 1 of this new legit setup because we were doing this over the pandemic while you were over in Bangkok, and so we had 2 microphones. So one was good, the Yeti, and then I had like these little podcast pack mics I got Lion McQuaid. Like they're like those mics are okay if you're like in like a really like quiet, isolated room and it's just you. And there's nothing else, but once you put in like 2 people in a room, do whatever, it's because it's like a.
It's not on the box. Just like everyone's Deli if you're by yourself in a room.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, exactly. Because like this here mic is really condensed to like straight ahead of me, but the other one was like just like an open ear picking up everything. Right. So it was like it's just scary. So anyways, and we were doing that with a webcam, and the webcam is a 1080p webcam, but the square is like the fucking size of a postage stamp. So then you can fucking drag it and make it the fucking size, like, you know, so you can view it, and then it gets all fucking blurry and grainy or whatever. And that's what we ran 14 episodes on, was that little shitty webcam and these 2 mics. So it was like,
this is Deli, man.
So then we did the tour, me and Mike, and I was like, all right, I'm taking money because like poor as fuck, you know, last year and a half, obviously, and then got on the road, paid, you know, got some bills paid, and took some other money invested into some decent mics, and buddy, cheers, boys.
Cheers, let's
to,
go.
Actually having a podcast, you know, done up proper, and
yeah, man, good for you, Deli.
Having a fucking deadly guest on over here.
It's like the mother's milk.
Yeah.
Mother milk.
Imagine if your mother's milk tastes like outhouse bee.
Mother milk.
I'll never drink it.
I would.
All the time.
Imagine that. Sucking on your own mother's tits.
That's what buddy
How good would the beer have to be?
That's what Fluffy said in George's Brook Milton, right? Fluffy, that's where that comes from. Mother's milk.
Mother's milk.
He gave us a beer and said, here, have a beer. It's like mother's milk.
Oh, jeez. He was some character too, Tolly. Buddy came out like, he was out in the driveway, you hear me? Parking lot, right? And honestly, the parking lot is about 5 times, 10 times the size of the venue. It's just it's overkill on the parking lot, isn't it?
Yeah, about 180 fucking parking spaces. 30 cars were coming.
Yeah, 70
with a safety vest on the range.
70 seats inside, right? 70 fits 180 cars.
And this was in what, George's Brook?
Yeah. So, anyways, and you got a guy out there, just like he out there in the fucking rain, mind you. Like, there's no reason for anyone to be out there on a beautiful night. Pouring rain. He out there with a fucking reflector vest with a flashlight there, fucking guarding people in, town park here, you park there. Like it didn't make no sense having him there, right?
For like a case of beer, too.
Definitely. And his wife volunteers there and helped organize. And I guess he thought he was helping her out or whatever, but like, it was sweet of him, but like, there was no need.
Yeah,
and like it was, we seen the humor in that, obviously.
He was Deli, Bob.
He was Deli, and
what was his name? Fluffy.
And his
nickname was Fluffy. I think his name was Chris Follett. I could be wrong, but I think it's Follett.
I think it's Chris for sure. And
Fluffy.
yeah,
I asked him what his name. He goes Fluffy.
Everybody calls me Fluffy. Yeah, right.
He's about 400 pounds on the hoof, right?
Fluffy.
Fluffy about him. That's his name.
Right. And he came up there and he wanted us to sign the back of his shirt with permanent marker. Had decent dress shirt on. Definitely the best shirt he had that he wore that night.
It's the best one now.
Yeah, and he goes, "Here, boss, sign that and don't say no." No, he said, drink that and don't say no. Yeah. Hand the beer, drink that and don't say no, because he knew we weren't trying to drink, but he fucking wanted us to drink. And he's like, I need you to sign this. And then 3 of us signed it. I signed, thanks for coming, you sexy bastard, or something. What'd you sign? You remember?
Just thanks, Fluffy.
Thanks, Fluffy.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
Makes sense.
They were so sweet out there. It was awesome.
Yeah. So like tour is like, I mean, you guys are living like Best Con Comedy Tour is like for a comedian, and I've never been one, but I hear rumor like the road is like what you want. It's like that's the memories. That's like the holy grail. Being on like a month and a half tour with like the boys. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. That's for fucking.
It is fucking ridiculous, man. It is some fun though.
No, it's wicked, man. We're lucky.
Yeah,
lucky, man. We're lucky we got this. It's awesome. It's getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, on tour we're such children, man. It's just silly. It's the sillier the better.
Well, that Harbour Grace show. What show was that? Was that show 3? That's pretty early, wasn't it?
Yeah,
well,
Lewisport, Harbour Grace. Just 3.
Yeah.
Show 5, I suppose, because we did 2 in Dillo and Lewisport.
Yeah, but didn't we do Harbour Grace then Dildo?
I can't remember one.
I think we did. I thought we did.
I think you did too, because I remember I was golfing and I called you, remember, with the guy that my buddy thought that you didn't like him or something because he met you before.
Right.
And then he said, "Oh, that's nice. You're doing a comedy show on the steps of the Harbour Grace building." And Colin's like, "No, we go inside, you idiot." Remember?
Right, he thought I was actually doing it.
What were we going to say, though?
Well, that was show 3, and ended up sleeping in the basement of the place and barfed all over the place. We were just talking about that before we started off.
Well, you did, yeah.
So the venue used to be the court.
Shout out to Brendan and Craig.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. That was cool. In the old jail yard from the 1800s.
Yeah, that must be.
Well, the show was awesome, yeah.
Man, the show was awesome. The place was awesome.
The place was nuts, man.
They had they turned into a speakeasy, the downstairs jail, which is so cool. And then they also bought the church across the street. They took us over there. We were walking around the church, just being super inappropriate.
But so, like, it's like this church is royalty. It looks like something over in Europe. This thing is fucking built hundreds of years ago. Literally hundreds of years ago. When 1800 something?
Name. Yeah, 1800s. Yeah.
It's 1800 something. And this thing, you go in and you're like, holy fuck, man. You feel like you're in, like, you know, you're over in Europe somewhere, like doing these big fucking things, and
like the architecture.
Holy conception of Margaret's vagina. Or whatever. I'm in the church wall.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I came from.
So we go over there and we're loaded at this point because after the show we go down the basement of this courthouse and they're doing it's like a cocktail martini bar. So we're down with the owners, puts the fucking lock across. It's one of these big old fucking iron bars that was back from the 1800s.
Yes.
That's what we locked the door with. So then we're in there getting fucking loaded in the basement of this and there's jail cells and shit around, right? So then we're like, Craig was like, let's go over and look at the church. So you gotta come over and see this fucking thing. So then we goes over, loaded, man. We fucking go across the grass, goes into the church. It's fucking dark and shit. Scarlet light coming out. This thing is monstrous, and it's just, oh man, it's something else. Like something out of a movie. Cool.
Yeah.
And we're just loaded left.
It was probably built in
and
like
all of our
1700
yells and echoing, our laughs are echoing and banging out the walls. And then we get up in this thing, and Brian starts
being right inappropriate.
Brian starts doing. What prayer was that?
I can't even remember, man.
Oh, yes, you do, man. You riddled it off the
No,
fuck.
I can't remember what it was. He's seated at the right hand of the Father. He will come again to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit. And I went through the whole fucking thing. I've been to church for 30 years, by the way.
Right, and riddled it off to that.
Brainwash.
Right? And then he's just like this up on top of this balcony, looking over the church, and he just goes, Amen. And you just hear it like echoing.
They were deadly too. Craig and Brenda from Own Yellow Belly and O'Reilly.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they own those spots too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they were awesome hosts. They took care of it. It was deadly.
Is that place like normally like a restaurant bar, like under there where you were, or is it just
No,
like?
I think they want it to be a speakeasy.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I don't know if they're doing food. I don't know if they're, but they got big plans for it for sure. And the church they're turned into like a multi kind of plex facility. I don't know what they're doing with that because it's fucking huge.
Oh, it's not a functioning church.
No, I think it's going to be like
No, God, no, he saved it.
No, yeah.
They saved it, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like squatters. You could squat there. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing a bunch of everything. I think they're doing a restaurant, a bar, a bunch of stuff. Like
Sweet.
I remember reading about it, but I can't remember. So if you want
they wanted to do like
not the guy.
Yeah, all kinds of random things.
So where did you throw up?
Downstairs, yeah, we're hanging out around downstairs with Brendan, Craig, and all their buddies, and then the people who left, and the people who stayed late, and then I think you were by yourself when you puked. It might have just been us. And Colin just projectile vomited, just bounced it off the fucking floor.
Dude, man, it was some bad. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
It was everywhere. Chunks, man.
So I was on chunk patrol. I got some of the chunks, and then Lynch got into the fucking mopping. And
like, remember them, like, do you remember them fucking little erasers that you could take to put on the top of your pencil? They're kind of like pointy.
Oh, yeah.
The knobs?
They're a little geometric shape.
Yeah, well, there was about fucking 35 of them knobs. Blah, chunky.
What'd you have Jungle Gyms on the road? Shout out
Did I
Jungle Gyms.
eat that day? I don't know, man, but it was, maybe. No, it wouldn't have been Jungle Gyms that day. But we had a ton of Jungle Gyms. But
Jungle Gyms Deli.
Well, Jungle Gyms is in Bay Roberts. Bay
Wasn't
Roberts.
Jungle Gyms Deli.
Yeah.
Jungle
Yes. Shout out. Cowabunga. Swing on in. I love
Jungle Gyms is deadly. Cowabunga.
don't know, whatever the fuck they're at now.
Right?
A tropical style restaurant in Newfoundland. The fucking balls. I love the balls of it.
So,
The balls of it. In the 90s, someone said, we're going to start a tropical restaurant. My girlfriend from high school back in the day, she used to work there. Like, and we're going to make pasty Newfoundlanders put on orange and yellow uniforms. Yes, what a great business plan this is. Worked out perfect. What a fun.
it was a great business plan.
Yeah, it took off.
Fuck, perfect. Everyone goes, it's just like Florida. Shut up, boss.
There's like a goldfish pond with huge goldfish in there.
Right.
I used to love going there as a kid. And
Still do.
there's a memory. There, you used to have that thing you drop you drop like a quarter in, you'd have to get it in the thing. You know, it's what green water? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like I think you get like a free basket of wings. Yeah, you own Jungle Gyms.
Oh, perfect.
No, man, you just
Lumberburger.
you get like a free pound of wings or something. But I used to just sit there, just beg for change.
We
all the
love
time.
it. We crush it on the road.
Yeah,
It's actually great.
yeah. The meals look
They're
like
great. Yeah, it's
deadly.
Good, yeah, it's good pub food. That's what it is. Cowabunga.
Yeah. Sweet.
Chili's deadly.
The chili.
Glad he spoke. I think he just had a stroke. There.
His mouth was like. Chili's deadly, man.
Right?
Oh man, yeah, man. I was just my head was just going, man. Just
That's one
thinking
thing we
about
could just actually, besides Jungle Gyms, which we actually love on the road. We used to, with first tour, we had a shit ton of Tim Hortons. Fucking garbage. And we just did because it's everywhere. It's convenient. And we
gut rot,
promised
man.
ourselves this year we're not doing it. And that's one thing we do now. We spend the money. We eat like really well. We're
Yeah.
like, fuck it. What's the best restaurant in the city? Let's go.
Yeah.
eating good and we're fasting a bunch.
Yeah, we were doing. Yeah, we were taking care of ourselves pretty good.
And I still put weight on, so it blow your fucking mind. Like, because I had my toe broke, so I wasn't doing fuck
It's not easy.
all.
Not easy.
And I was like, man, imagine if I was eating bad.
Yeah.
Like how much, like
Well,
how
all you're
bad
doing
it
is
would be.
really sitting,
Yeah.
lying around.
All day,
We did
man.
what 14,000 kilometers. In
So you just
fucking
sat
rig.
in a fucking car and then like couldn't.
And after that, you're lying down in the hotel room.
Yeah, walked another line down.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
it's
like,
just a lot of
you gotta make- you
fucking
gotta make an
nothing,
effort.
man.
But we did really good this year.
We did.
We were all like, we did.
I went swimming a couple times. That was big for me.
Indoor, outdoor.
it was,
Indoor.
Indoor, yeah.
Now,
It's
what's
great, man. But getting back to what you said, it's deadly, man. Be doing on tour.
Yeah.
We always joke around about what people think tour is to what it really is.
Yeah.
It's a big joke to us because people think we're partying all the time and there's fucking pussy everywhere and nonsense, and it's just like. Well,
That's
not-
only
not at
part
all.
of the time.
It's just it's us kicking vending machines and saying inappropriate jokes that we'll never repeat in public.
Yeah, like you guys are legitimately like, as in the lifestyle of a comic, like for a comic, doing something that like people dream about.
Yeah, man.
Like going on tour and like how many cities? 40 something.
40 this year, yeah.
Well, it's 40 shows.
40 shows, but
So
it's
it was like
it's creeping
30
up to 40 cities, yeah.
It was about,
Right.
it was about 30 towns or cities and about 40 shows.
Well, we know that though. We talk
Yeah.
about it all the time. We know
Yeah.
how lucky we are for sure. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know how lucky it is. So fucking hard in this fucking business. Here's how foolish it got. So we pulled into Fort Mac, our last show to tour, October 30th, whatever, and 14,000 kilometers a week. We pulled into Fort Mac, last show, 500 people waiting for us at Keanu Theater. We couldn't be more excited. Hotel right across the street. Mike goes into the fucking gas station, the fucking whatever, rock of shit or whatever. And he couldn't wait for the hotel because that's how
man.
silly he is, right? Hotel's right there. We can see it. Hit it with a rock. He's
Yeah.
like, so he goes in by himself, right? Then he comes out. He goes, "Buddy threw the key at me." I guess he asked for the key for the bathroom, and Buddy just chucked it and was pissed off that he even wanted. I'm like, what? And you could tell Mike, Mike's such a nice guy. He didn't want to say nothing. He just stand there all fucking pissed off. I'm like, what are we going to do about it? Right? Getting
Yeah.
all going like, you should go back in there.
Yeah.
You should go back in. He goes, should I? I'm like, yes, go back in. I said, I'll go back with you. Right? I'm 47-year-old. Right? Mike's 30-year-old man. He goes back in. Mike goes back in. Can I use the bathroom again? Says the Buddy, right? The guy's like, no, please, get out, please. Buddy's like, come on, man.
No bathroom for you.
Come on, man. I just want to have a shit. Right? It just says whatever. He goes, no, I don't think so. I said, so are you going to just shit here in the garbage cans? What are we supposed to do? That's to us. That is maximum level fun.
Right.
So
And then we get back into the rig, and Mike goes, I'm going to call him. I'm like, what? So then we call him on the phone.
Kicked out the gas station twice now. He's been kicked out the gas station twice in 5 minutes. Gets in the van. We're still in the parking lot. Call him.
Hotel right across the street. Shows in 2 hours.
We're looking at the hotel.
Right? And then Mike calls and goes, can I come by and use the bathroom, please? I just got to have shit. And he goes, please, don't call him. So that's what happens on tour. That
Oh my God! It was
You just been held up at gunpoint right before you guys came there, right?
dude, it's silly. Like we just get through it, man. It's a lot, man, but it's awesome. But it's
it takes the good out of you. For sure.
Go.
Like you know, with vacation, like. Not the vacation similar, but when you're traveling, it's like everyone goes, "Oh, it's a vacation," but then you're so tired.
You need a vacation after your vacation.
Yeah.
I'm still like it's 3 weeks since we've been home.
I'm
and I'm
still
like
yeah.
I've had a few nights out. I went to see Rum Rag. I went to see Dave Whitty with you guys, and fucking went out, you know, with my wife Holly a few times, whatever, to eat. But man, it's like getting civilized again because we're such idiots on the road.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you're around adults again. You're like, I don't even know how to be an adult.
Buddy.
It's weird, man. It's actually a thing.
I'm still
100%
always tired.
Yeah.
Man, I wake up. It don't matter. I had 10 hours sleep.
Right?
I
get it, man.
And I wake up and I'm up like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I'm like the Windows music. Do 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 do.
Yeah, you're just booting down.
I just wants to like go, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I gotta try to stay up. But like, I'm just ready to go back to bed. And dude, it's 3 weeks later. I'm still not over it. I don't know if I have progressed at all.
No, I
don't feel like I've progressed.
Yeah, I feel a little bit like that. Or even like full on conversations because you don't really talk to a lot of people on the road. We talk to each other, but when you have like a real adult conversation, you're talking about bills or you're talking
crypto
about
or something. Yeah,
real shit. And just honestly, man, after a couple of minutes, my brain just shuts off. I'm like, I'm not listening anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is, but it's a real thing.
I think it might be.
Me and Holly been adjusting. My wife Holly, like we've been together now 7 years, and there is a thing when you come off the road. So she's learned to like give me that little bit of grace. It's only a few days, but that's all I need. Is just like I'm not going to be normal for a day or two. Like, don't expect anything out of me. Like,
Day or two.
You know,
week or two.
No, a week or two. She's not putting up with that. But
well, she should. You're a king, baby.
Baby.
Hear that, Holly? The goddamn king.
Fucking king. He's a goddamn motherfucking king.
Right?
And I say it because I'm fighting for it.
But she does King Day, which I told you about, which is deadly.
Deadly Day. You need King Month, though.
2 days, actually.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
You need King Day, then you get King Week, and then you need King Day, then King Week, then King Month.
Gotta squeeze a bit of queen time in there. You're not going to be a king very long.
That's the other 11 months.
There's no
That's
king
the other
without a
11
queen.
months.
No.
That's the other 11 months, like you said.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm
Exactly.
listen, right?
But no, it's wild, man. It's
Yeah.
but it's awesome, man. We're always.
What was your favorite show, like, out of that tour? Like, was it Fort Mac? Because I keep hearing Fort Mac was
Fort
like
Mac's
was
just
raucous.
Fucking pleasure, man. I mean, it's 500 people, and this year was kind of awesome because it was sold out 2 months in advance.
Make sure I'm right and talking to the mic, sir.
And it was weird because at first it was like we could only have a third because of this COVID shit. You could only have a third capacity. Then it was half capacity. Then it was half capacity, no drinks. Then it was full capacity, maybe with drinks. And anyway, ended up being full shot and drinks. So but we didn't find that out till 2 days before. So like everyone was so stoked.
Right,
And the
it was up
fact
in
that they
the
were
air.
sold out for 2 months before meant they obviously were really excited to see us. Man, it's the fucking best. Fort Mac is insane.
Fort
Yeah.
Mac.
The theater's so nice. Like
Yeah.
I remember going out and seeing Colin the first part of it, just to have a quick little look, and it just looks so good. man.
Yeah.
That little circle, semicircle little stage, it's wicked.
Yeah.
And that's a given. But Fogo is pretty awesome. Like we were talking about that today. So we went to Fogo for the 2 days, did 2 shows, and went nuts. Met this family. I'm not sure if it was the Oak family, but Chantel Oak is one of them, and her sister Trina. And we went up going squid fishing with her old man. Had a fucking went to 8 shed parties. Me and Mike went and rap battled some guy in a shed. What else? Just nonsense, man.
That's so sick.
And anyway, they messaged us today and said they're having a 40th birthday party for this missus in the group, and here in St. John's, they'd love for me and Colin to show up and bring the girls and just become buddies. They're our buddies now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I love that kind of shit. Like we can go back to Fogo now at any time, call this family, and we're good.
Yeah.
Wicked, man.
Yeah, that's
So Fogo was
unreal.
pretty, and that was the first time we're in Fogo.
Yeah.
So that was pretty. It's not working.
I'm just thinking, because you're turning your head to him a lot, you might want to have it on a bit of an angle like that, you know what I mean?
Do I got to talk right into it like that?
No.
All right,
Just
fuck
like, I'm just thinking, hold on, like, tighten it. Here, I'm just gonna give that quick tweak.
He goes like that. Right?
Like that. But what I'm saying is, oh, fuck, this is so...
Techie McGee, huh?
And this can all be edited out anyway, so.
Fuck this up more. Not a chance. Right?
This is fuck here.
Fuck off.
Like that, because you're looking at him a lot. So now, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you...
All right.
That's all. Hey, man. That's all right. Listen, man.
Is this good?
I'm just saying, because you do this a lot when you look at and then you're
Am I wrong?
That's all I'm saying.
It's all good. But yeah, man. I don't know. Shows. I mean, those are the ones that pop. I mean, I like going to new spots. So anytime we go to new spots, it's wicked, right? Like this year we did what? Like Springdale was new, Twillingate, Fogo. Anytime we go somewhere new, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's all wicked, man.
We're
so lucky, man. Like we got a pretty cool fucking fan base, and
yeah,
it's wicked, man. It's like your buddies.
Yeah, I know.
They're like your buddies. It's awesome.
It's like Fort Mac's like little Newfoundland too. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody there's from Newfoundland. It feels like. I had a friend actually that I saw on Facebook. I just was like, I knew she was there, and she said she was going, and I was like, oh man, go up and say hi to the boys. Like they'd be like, oh no way, like, you know what I mean? Oh, I grew up with Tyler or whatever. Anyway, I don't think she ended up doing it because it's just big crowd or whatever. She bitched out or whatever, and. Anyway, I saw she posted a photo of it or something, and then on the bot there was like 6 other comments of people from Fort Mac that were there, and it was like, my side still hurt from laughing, and it was like all this like, you know what I mean? The feedback is full on.
That's our last show too. So by the time we get there, we're in good shape. We're good.
Yeah, your timing is on
crazy,
point.
Man, we were like with COVID, right? We didn't.
One day to the next.
Yeah, and we didn't get enough time in like you usually get, so it was nerve-wracking. The beginning of the tour was so nerve-wracking. I mean, geez, we started in a stadium after a year of not performing, really.
Yeah.
Lewisport, right?
Right.
We fucking pulled it off.
Yeah, it was insane. Fort McMurray, like, Fort Mac show has been awesome every time we've ever done it.
What was your favorite?
Fort Mac, for sure. Like, not even, it's not, to me, and we had a lot of wicked shows.
Yeah, man,
and to me, that's what blew my mind with Fort Mac, was how amazing the tour was. And then Fort Mac made the rest of the tour seem like nothing in my head. Like, that's how incredible I thought Fort Mac was.
Well, the theater's so special too.
Everything about it, man. It was. To me, it's not even. It's not even a question. It's the debate is what's the second best. Because Fort Mac was what it was that good.
And everybody's different. Like I love Calgary.
Right.
Every time I'm in Calgary, I love it.
Yeah,
every single time.
Probably my second favorite.
Yeah.
I love it because the crowd. They have the best crowds, man. And the club there is awesome. They take care of you really well, so you're always in a nice mood.
Calgary club is wicked.
But Calgary's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Scotty was there. Scotty
Calgary
Wolf
want
on.
all of it. They don't want you to hold back at all.
Yeah, just go for it.
Edmonton is hit or miss. Edmonton can be whatever. This year in Edmonton, we had a bit of a drunky, rowdy crowd.
Was it early show? Late show? No, late show.
One show.
Late show.
Yeah, late show.
Late show got a little drunked up, maybe coked up. Who knows?
But there's a bunch. Man.
Maybe it's Edmonton.
Yeah.
Boss showing up with like a truck with a skidoo in the back in the summer, right?
Exactly. It's like, where you going, man?
She slammed right down on the Leafs, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I saw her up dreaming of the winter.
Private out there, right? Well, it's private everywhere now. You're always going to get those, chatty bunch. But no, it's wicked, man. It's wicked.
Do you have any hecklers? Like,
Jesus, yes. Fuck, man.
Not a shit ton, though.
Go away, but for a while, man, it was like fucking 6 shows in a row, man.
Yeah, we had a couple of shitbags, but it wasn't nothing that was like. We had a couple of.
Twillingate Mrs. fucking left the show. She moved back. She drove Twillingate back to fucking Glendale out of it in the middle of the show.
Yeah, well, she could fuck right off. She was being horrible.
Yeah, her and the rest of them too. There was a fucking bunch of them, man.
Yeah, she was being horrible. She was like heckling Mike and interrupting him. Mike tried to deal with it, and it was like. She had no redeeming qualities. It was just
right.
And then I went up, and then we were talking earlier about the man and doing the church jokes. So I started in Twillingate with the church jokes because we were in a church, and I think that's what threw her over the edge. She was like, they just got up.
Oh, she was super religious or something.
Bye-bye.
I don't know, but she just like wouldn't like. Here you are, you're trying to perform it. Like any chance she could get to say something or get ball out. It was in her head. It's like I paid, so I'm allowed to talk as much as I want.
That wasn't
It's
the
like-
same
and it's
one.
like-
Did you
and
say
it's
she
like-
drove back to Twillingate? No, from Twillingate.
To Glendale.
Wherever she's from, yeah.
From Twillingate. The show was in Twillingate. And yeah, it was just like, and then we had Bella Vista. We had a couple really bad nights in Bella Vista. Like, yes, we
My
did.
memory's fucked, man. What was
Man,
it?
oh man,
I was there for that
Remember,
one.
she was writing me.
The girl was bad, yeah.
And that was, and it was like the night before. I think it was the night before was also brutal. And I think you were there.
I was there, yeah,
Right,
because some
and-
missus snuck in or something. Remember?
And
She said she didn't pay.
the night after was so much worse than that night that I can't even remember what that night was. All I remember is that there was something, but the night after was that much worse
She
than
was
that
bad.
one.
She was bad because I remember
Bad.
watching her because I was watching her from the back with Mike, and she was there with some other chick and a couple of dudes. And I don't know who was with who. The girls were kind of sort of half making out. They were talking shit. Oh yeah, and it was like
At the Bella Vista?
Right? It's like, what are you doing?
We had a fella in Placentia too.
Then they were heckling Mike. Then they were texting us on our phones, like, and they were texting the staff at the Bella Vista saying if they can't deal with us, then they're not funny. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? They were just horrible.
Really?
They didn't get it.
That's like, there's someone, that lady that I'm talking about that was in that time I did 10 minutes for you for a hilarious laugh out in Twillingate, there was a lady in the front row and she would talk to you, like every time you would say something, she would talk as if you and her were having a conversation in the kitchen or something. It's not heckling. It's like, oh, yes, yeah, she'll say that kind of stuff. Right?
Well, the Bella Vista crowd, the one I'm saying was really bad, that's a lot of what that was. They were just like, in their heads, and then they got really upset during and after the show because they thought that we were out of line because they couldn't, they thought we were attacking them. They thought that we completely stepped over the line and that they didn't because it was completely unjustified in their head. They're like, "What are you talking about?"
And we will. I will anyway. I will attack you.
Oh,
if you
for
heckle,
sure.
I'm not fucking Mark Rich. I'm not CBC.
Right? Yeah, right.
If you heckle at a show, because I feel bad for the other people who pay money, like.
Right,
that's their night out. They might have to get babysitters.
Oh my god, I'm stressed out just thinking about it, man. Like stressed out.
Jeez, I'm sorry I brought it up, guys.
No,
sorry.
It's
no, but it wasn't like it's nothing. It was a little worse this year. We were talking, but it's nothing crazy.
Yeah,
but we could tell a little more of a disturbance this year.
Just bad one in Springdale too. I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, everybody's like let out of the cage,
right? Because and everybody came up after the show explaining the hecklers at Springdale.
That was a cocaine situation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was a cocaine situation for sure. That's the one I can really remember. I mean, there was a guy in Placentia was bad.
Placentia's bad, buddy. Now, Placentia was great. This guy at Placentia, he was bad.
You had one in Placentia before.
Placentia was awesome.
70 people at the fucking LaFontaine Club. It was awesome. But one guy, again, and he didn't know any different. He thought he was part
But
of
he comes up after the show, ready to fucking excited to come talk to us, and we're like, I'm thinking, like as he's coming, I'm just seeing red when he's walking towards us. Like I'm like, fuck this guy. And he goes up, and it was like, right, and it's like, no, man,
that's
no.
That's the case though. The guy, normally the hecklers who do that, they always come up to you after a while. Hey,
they thought,
and they always go like, I thought you were great. I'm like, you didn't listen to a fucking word I said.
Like, how the fuck do you think we were great? You didn't listen. You don't listen to your own thoughts, let alone what someone else is saying. Yes, man, that was awesome. Can't wait to come back next year. And you're thankful at the same that fucks with your head altogether. Fucks with my head because it's like I don't know how it feels then.
No, I didn't know what to do because he was heckling bad during Mike said Collins. But he thought he was just part of the show, and I was like, what am I gonna do, man? I can't.
Right.
And it's getting later in the day, right? I'm going on last. It's getting later in the show. He's gonna be more drunk. And I was like, and I got him at one. Remember, I said, I think you think you're at fucking bingo, man.
Oh,
yeah. You think this is bingo? I'm like, let's go. I said, be quiet.
And the big bingo board behind us. It is the bingo hall, right? The show was at the bingo hall.
And that embarrassed him enough, and he shut the fuck up.
That got a very big pile of laughter.
He's like, I love bingo.
Yeah. Right? But that was about, scattered thing here, but nothing crazy, man. But you get it as part of it, but it's not as much as people think.
Man, I think we take for granted sometimes too how many people are going to like their first comedy show.
Yeah, man.
And like they might not be a comedy fan. They're going with their friend and they get on the sauce. They had a bad week and then they like don't know what goes on.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like you're in rural Canada, you're in rural Newfoundland. They might have been at their first one ever.
I had a friend of mine, Steve Martin. If Martin, you're watching, what a fucking asshole. Martin, he's a great guy, but we had a show at the Delta. He used to have comedy shows at the Delta back in the day. And he went, Martin's a really funny dude, and he started fucking heckling, being a dickhead. And he ruined the show. And then the guy started trying to go back and forth with him, and he's funnier than Buddy. And that's when it's bad.
Right.
If they take your power away like that, you're fucked.
Yeah, if they start murdering.
It's over.
And you're not.
And he's still not over that. We're like, Steve, we're like, fuck, man.
He's like proud of it.
I know.
Well, he just laughs at it now. We all laugh at it now. But at the time, it was like, dude.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I know comedians on the mainland that actually are half scared to come to Newfoundland. Right, because they're like, man, they're fucking, because the hecklers trump you.
Yeah, there's a bit of that here, because I think in Newfoundland, too, when the Yuck Yucks Club used to be on the go, like, this is just generally speaking, but I think a lot of Newfoundlanders like personality-driven type stand-up.
Yeah.
And like more kind of, bigger, kind of louder, kind of, so any kind of like, quirky shit or alternative shit they don't really go for.
Yeah.
And if they get bored, they'll start yapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And
like one-liners or like.
Yeah. We've had some really good comics come down here, but just because they're not that certain flavor, they've eaten shit.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen it. We all have.
Yeah, Newfoundland. Characters in the crowd. If there's 300 people at a show, there's 40 fucking.
Yeah.
Those type out there. No, my son, I didn't say it. No, my buddy.
Those type.
There's at least like 40, 50 people in the crowd that'll murder in their kitchen on a Sunday night.
Man, exactly.
But the separation is they don't go out on stage and do it.
Right.
right?
But they think they can. That's the difference. Like,
Right.
they come up like, well, I should probably do that. Like, you just do it, right? You just do it. You start going on tour. Yes, man. Get in your car and fucking organize a tour, man.
Yeah, let's have a round of that. What's your most hated person on tour? I'll go first.
That we met?
No. That's why I say I'll go first.
Like
so you
a
understand what I'm talking
stereotype
about.
thing.
So like a stereotype, like the one to be like, I wants to do comedy, man. I've been wanting to do stand up. I want to do it, or I'm going to do it. Everyone tells me I should do it, and I'm going to do it. And then like that's cool. I don't mind that. But then when it's like it's a half hour later and they still somehow got you cornered and talking about it, it's like just go fucking do it, man. Just go do it. Like I'm glad, but like don't talk to me about it anymore. There's not just like just go do it.
Yeah, they think you want to talk about that for some reason. Like,
I love hearing it, and I can give him talking about 5 minutes about it.
But we're our own worst enemies too, because we like meeting people and having a laugh, and like
it's
becoming a thing now. Even though we're only 3 tours in, it's like the boys are here. Like we're the boys.
Right.
It's not even like a thing like the boys are here. So we're starting to be the boys. The boys think they can just come up to us and be like, "What are you at?" And they can for the most part. For me, I think it's the hecklers who come up to you after and pretend that they loved you. I hate that shit.
Right.
Because it's like, just get away from me.
Yeah.
There's nothing about you I want to be around.
That is, yeah.
What's funny is I heckled Brian back in the day. Remember, I heckled you back in the day before I knew you by accident.
Oh, this is great.
This is like I was I was the highest I've ever been in my entire life.
Really?
I was at the Puffin Hut.
Okay.
And you were doing a bit, which is a hilarious bit about. I'm talking into it, aren't I? I'm close. You were doing a bit about Fred Hutton. And like Lynn, and like how like Fred's like finger banging Lynn or whatever, right? And it's like hilarious. I don't know if I ruined the punchline, but fuck it. And then I was like, I forget. I'd not eaten that day. I smoked a joint with the boys. I hit the bong, and then I smoked 2 dabs, and I was right up front in the lights, and I felt in my mind, you missed an opportunity to be like, buddy's smoking out of a suitcase with lights on it. Right. Like, it was like this thing I've never smoked out of before, right? And you said something about Fred, and I just kind of was like, I just smoked weed with Fred Hutton's son. And then you were like, it just like, everyone was high, and everyone was awkward, and I just said it out loud, and you were kind of like, oh, it's a round of applause for this guy right here, right? And I'll never forget that for the rest of my life, because I was like, holy fuck. I went outside.
Really?
Higher than...
Shit. You know what's funny? His son... Was this his son or his nephew? Maybe it was his nephew. So his nephew was at a show in St. John's when I did that Fred Hutton joke, and he came up to me after... It was his nephew, I think, at St. John's Yucca Club. And came up to me after the show, and he texted Fred the joke, a couple of the punchlines.
Oh, really?
Fred thought it was hilarious.
He thought it was hilarious?
Yeah, because I used to add that to the bit later. Because when some people didn't like it, because it was like me being gross, calling Freddie fingers, right? Because he was finger banging Lynn on the weekend. Instead of him and Lynn get on the fucking Vagatonics and he finger banged her down Greensleeves bathroom. Something like that. And so people get all disgusted, like, and I'd say, Fred heard a joke, he thinks it's funny, quiet out of it.
That's so, man, that joke is so good. Because it's like everybody's often thought, like, I wonder if they're fucking.
Well, I just wanted to rip apart NTV because it's such a Newfoundland, like, thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to rip it apart for a laugh. That's only I did it for. I watch it all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, I was on. Yeah. Was it CBC Radio or VOCM or something with Fred Hutton?
Stop bragging.
Well, this will bring me to
VOJT Moncton. Tell me less.
Oh, we seen stars on that one. He's seeing stars.
Did a guest spot one time to Hubcap County Festival. I was just driving through, man. I just drove through and went up there.
I wish, man. I've never been to your festival like that.
Really? Have you applied to Hubcap?
I don't think so, no.
Their application was... Actually, I was thinking about it, but their applications are like... You got to apply by August, and the festival's in February. So they actually do it a little, whatever. Hubcap's deadly little festival.
I need someone.
I thought that was a joke. I didn't know a Hubcap festival was actually a thing. I thought you were joking.
Hubcap Comedy Festival in Moncton is one of the better festivals in the country, really. Yeah, it's good.
Really?
A lot of killers and but most festivals are fucking shit anyway. There's a handful of good ones that are worth.
I wouldn't know, Brian.
Doesn't Just for Laughs own your material after?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not. You ain't getting paid.
You get a small piece.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be.
Weird,
right? It used
right?
to be like back in the day, right? You go there and you could get a developmental deal, like
right
all the time, right? That's where all those comics got sitcoms and shit.
Right.
In the '90s, but that's all gone. That's bullshit. Now they just
poach off TikTok and shit.
Yeah, well, they'll bring down some random American who's not half as funny as most of the comics here, but just because he's known for some podcast or whatever.
Right.
I guess it's a business decision, whatever. Yeah, but I don't get breaking your back to be in a festival anymore. That's old school way of thinking. That shit's over, man. Like, don't get me wrong. There's festivals I like. Halifax Comedy Festival's awesome. Hubcap's great. I mean, Just for Laughs is awesome just because of the people you get to see. But fuck festivals, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely outdated.
Like, I mean, it's great, but I mean, you're not going to be. Am I funny? Please tell me, am I funny? It's like,
right? Yeah.
Past that shit.
Yeah, you guys are on an independent thing that's like selling out.
It's nice to be recognized and all that stuff, but it's like not.
What time of being recognized, I was, like I say, bring it back full circle over here. I was over there in fucking VOCM or CBC, whatever the fuck it was, and fucking Fred Hunt was there. It was me and Lynch, and we were promoting some show. I don't know if it was Best Con Tour or when we were doing, whatever the fuck it was. Anyways, me and him were on it, and I made a little joke to Fred. One of us did. I think it was me. And I started being like, Fred, I was like, Jesus, you're not Cecil Hare or something like that, right? And he was just like, he's like, who are you? And he said it on the air, too. He's like, who are you again? I only know Mike Lynch.
Oh, no way, he ripped you.
Fred Hutton said that to me.
That's good.
Nice one, Fred. See?
Fred
getting his fingers in there again.
And I was just like, oh, Fred, you sneaky slice slick motherfucker.
Man, you made a joke and he destroyed you is what it sounds like.
He destroyed me.
Deadly.
I got murdered by Fred Hutton.
You can't talk about the media power dynamic here in St.
How his new buzz cut looks.
Both of them are deadly. That's it, man. That's whatever.
Yeah, I don't get recognized out of my own fans. That's
another crazy
me.
thing about the tour this year. No media. None. Which is kind of nuts. It's maybe very little. Like, not that I remember. None.
No, that's a fact. That's true. We got no media. We sold out nationwide with no media.
Right.
Like the news.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like when you think, the fucking, like, when you really think about it, man, like, what we've done is something really cool and pretty unprecedented in not only just Newfoundland, but even the country. You know, especially Newfoundland. And you think that, like, man, it's like we got to reach out and beg for something in
we
there.
didn't do that this year. We
didn't.
Before.
And we didn't.
Before we used to.
Yeah, and you know what? And we didn't. And guess what happened? Nothing, because they didn't come to us, because they won't. You think they want to do a story, man? Not a fucking
But it's also
chance.
kind of dying too, like print journalism and
print. But it's all just shifted to the internet. Media is still so important.
Well, you would think that they would want to do it just to say, hey, there's somebody doing something in the community. Look at these guys. You know what I mean? Like if I went and fucking, climbed a tree and played an accordion in the woods, I'd be on the news.
Now, to be fair, they've been great with us individually. They've been great to us individually. Like they've after given me like a bunch of different, cover me for a bunch of different stuff, right? Like when I was first starting with the podcast there in the beginning of the pandemic, and when I was doing that Club One show, and or something. Whenever I have a video rant go viral, they'll hit us up and play the videos on the news and everything. They're really good for that. And Lynch, and had Lynch on the cover of the Herald and CBC's they're really good. They're really good individually, but when it comes to the tour, they.
And I'm not even slacking them off. I'm just saying that's facts.
Yeah, that's just what happened.
Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of people here. Tara Bradbury's awesome. I love Tara.
Yeah, Tara's great.
And, she's always a great writer. But yeah, man, that just shows how lucky we are.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't need him, I guess we learned that this year. Not that we don't need him. We definitely would.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind.
Wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But wicked.
Yeah.
But that just shows where shit's going, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised that NTV isn't just like an Instagram page.
Yeah. Seriously, I think that's where it's headed, right?
Yeah.
That's where it's headed, honestly. If Beth Penny can save it. You got to save it, Beth. Put it all on your shoulders.
But there's some good people over there. Like,
there's tons. It's just the way the world's going, man. It's like, it's like, who's watching the news under 30? Not many. Scattered Bayman.
Man.
Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, out in the shed with the rabbit ears.
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah.
Bit
of tinfoil.
Tomorrow, man. About 2 o'clock more. There's some wind. Come over the hill.
There's going to be some wind over the west coast this weekend. I'll tell you that.
Jesus Christ.
355,000 millimeters of rain.
That's not going to be the last
I heard it was
time I hear that.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, it's actually...
many things I love about living in Thailand is not talking about the weather.
Unless there's like a typhoon or something.
When is this happening?
Tomorrow?
I have it right here.
What's the stupid fucking name? They got a name for it?
Over the next 38 hours. No, there's no name.
Shit.
It's not a.
We'll have one though.
Yeah, like it's like now. Like, I'm pretty sure it's raining in Corner.
Sky Tsunami 21.
Sky Tsunami.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. You know they're going to make it sexy. They'll have a name on that tomorrow. They're sitting around tonight racking their brains.
Yeah, right? Eddie Shears. That's what he's doing.
What'd you say, 350?
350 millimeters.
See him doing it.
100, yeah, this is not the last time I'm going to hear it because I'm going to say it in 20 seconds.
But they're going to... Was it? Say it. Say the statistics.
So it's 350 mil... Oh, well, between 200 and 350 in 48 hours with 140 kilometer hour gusts, 100 kilometers sustained. There you go.
All right, well,
hit me up if you want a weather guy.
Used to be. By the way, you want to say statistics again?
Statistics.
Fuck, I didn't come out easy, did I?
Statistics.
What's statistics on that? Tell me the statistics. Jesus, man. What kind of podcast? Are we raising money? Are we raising money for something? What are we doing? So it's big towny words, Colin. There are big towny words there. You stick to the 2 syllables now. Get back over the fucking overpass out of it. Thanks, buddy. We always talk about the 3 syllable words are for townies. Get back over the fucking overpass out of it.
Statistics. What was it? What I said today that I fucked up?
I love after another like 24 episodes or whatever, you can put out a full episode of just you laughing.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a montage. And it'll just all be the same because it's just looped.
I'd actually watch that. Different Colin laughs.
Well, he's got compilation.
Compilation, yeah, that's another one. My best is...
What's the statistics on the compilation, boss?
Man, I got so many favorites. I'm sure you do,
But
too.
what was it? What I said today? I was talking about. I think it was somebody's name, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
I fucked up somebody's name.
I can't remember. There's too many. As soon as one goes in there, it's just all...
Oh, man.
You're too busy thinking about tennis. I was thinking about your stroke.
Think about your stroke. Man, honestly, the one that you said that caught me off guard the most was you were at Coffee Matters, I think. And I knew you were at Coffee Matters. And I came home, we pulled in the driveway at the same time. And I said, what'd you have to eat? And he was like, oh, I had a deadly sandwich down there at Coffee Matters. Yeah, it was on that old ciabatta bread. And I was like, you mean ciabatta?
Whatever, man. How's it?
Ciabatta bread. And I was dead serious too. I didn't crack small when I said it.
Yeah.
And then he bust laughing. I was like, what? And he was like, it's not ciabatta.
Amazing. Someone who talks for a living can't talk.
Right?
It's actually pretty incredible.
It is.
Thank you.
That should be a part of this podcast. Just a suggestion. You come in here with 5 or 6 syllable words on a piece of paper and Colin just reads them.
Done. Segment done.
Sure, you could do that, man. You could like bring up some big words.
Elephant. That's elephant, Colin. That's elephant.
LA plant.
I can say elephant, but yeah, I don't know. I don't mean like. I think like. What's funny is I always think I'm pretty good at words until I come across one that I can't say, and I'm like, "Fuck about words." Like I always think.
Not bad words. It's funny.
But like, what the fuck was that one today?
Oh well, there was one yesterday.
It was like an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
it was right there. I think it was somebody's name.
Yeah, and you stop. I love how now he stops. He'll do like a brief millisecond pause before he says it because he knows he's gonna fuck it up. Right? Yeah, and it's like that's my alert. That's my alert to like pay attention to what he's saying.
On that ciabatta bread.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you didn't nail it. Or like we were watching TSN the other day, and it was like Carlo Koliakovo, and you were like Carlos Kokliakovo or something like that. Like
Carlo Colavacchio.
Yes, Colavacchio. And he says Vietnamese.
Oh, trust me,
Vietnamese.
On tour, we eat a lot of Vietnamese food.
I love it.
I want some Vietnamese food. Not if you say it like that, man. You're not allowed.
Oh man,
you're not allowed to have it.
Vietnamese.
I'd love some Vietnamese right now. Like, would you? Are you sure? Never heard of it. Sounds good.
Oh, it's facts, man. I'm so bad for it.
Yeah, I mean that's beauty. I got a question now. We'll clear it up because for me, like when you're doing stand up in Asia, like I think everybody, I think myself included, thinks that you're doing English stand up for like a predominantly Asian speaking crowd, but there's obviously English people there.
That's because people are racist.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's racist. I think that's ignorance.
Well, either way.
Ignorant racism.
It's a little different. Yeah, that's true.
A little. I'm very because I think I'm not. I know I'm not racist.
Really? Pronounce Vietnamese.
See, that's not racism.
Well, it's on the way there.
But okay,
it's the road to racism.
Listen, if I can,
like you're out there, you're taking the side road that says racism this way. Like, well, so let's go down here and see
the
what
road
happens.
to racism, 2021.
I can't say a shit ton of other words, and that just happens to be another word.
Yeah, hear me now. It is ignorance. Yeah, man. I mean,
it's ignorance.
It is that in some countries. I mean, I've done like 22 countries in Asia now. I think it's like some countries like Korea. It is mostly a Korean crowd who like.
Can kind of speak English.
Can kind of speak English, maybe, but then you go to like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. They're all fluent. And you get a lot of expats too, right? A lot of Australians, a lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans. But even Mongolia. I mean, I take my special in Mongolia, and all Mongolians, and they all spoke fluent English.
See, that's fascinating to me because even
or most of them at least.
I mean, we've been touring together for years, been friends for years, and even now. I didn't know that.
No, yeah.
Like, I've always assumed pretty much all the audiences that you're performing for are, if you look at the crowd, it's 90% plus expats. I just assume you're always performing for expats.
No, it depends on the country. I mean, in Indonesia and Singapore, a place like that, 10% are expats. Maybe a little more, but yeah, man, it's just they understand it because you'd know if they didn't. I mean, I wouldn't be over there if they were.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm trying to work on my shit. No, man, the scene in Asia has taken off. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
because I was kind of there by fluke since the beginning, almost. I mean, it has been going on in the '90s, kind of, sorta, but mostly just American acts coming in.
Yeah,
but I mean, I've been on the go since what, like 2005. And like scenes, that's like 16 years now. And it's amazing. It went from like a scene, like a real hacky type stuff. You see the, comics coming up to like certified killers now in every country. It's wicked. It's wicked, man.
And like that comedy thing that we mentioned in your intro that you loved, the 2009 stand-up Soul.
Yeah.
So that was you helped start that, or you did start that?
That was one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of, and that was a fluke. I literally got on stage on a bet in Korea. 2005. I told a story before, but whatever. My ex-wife was a smoker at the time, and then we made a bet if she quit smoking for a month, I'd go on stage and stop talking about it because I was too scared to go up. I just thought it was something Americans did. Anyway, she quit, and I was like, "Fuck, now I got to do it." So I did it in a really rowdy bar in front of a bunch of Marines and fucking teachers and prostitutes, and this shady area, and then. Moved to Toronto a couple weeks later. Said, fuck it, I was 31.
Wow.
Anyway, what was my fucking point?
Soul stand-up.
Yeah. So then I went back to Toronto, started doing it all the time. And then I got married in 2007 and then realized I want to go back to Korea, bank some money, whatever. Went back to Korea and then I was like, fuck it, let me try to start a comedy night, because there got to be more people like me, right? Because I'm like, nobody knew who the fuck I was 2 years ago.
Right.
And I did, and I started it at a Canadian bar called Rocky Mountain Tavern. It's just by fluke that I knew the boss, and it was a Canadian bar right in Central Seoul, real popular spot. And right off the top, man, I think it was 60 people came to the first show. We had 9 people try it. And basically, long story short, we did it the last Thursday of every month, and it's still going. And we did it. It got better and better. And now there's been like at least 5 or 6 people come out of that and are on their way to being professional comics.
Wow.
It's kind of wild. Yeah, like my buddy Jeff from Winnipeg, Albert from Chicago. Man, there's more than that. I mean, there's a bunch of guys. My buddy Ross, who could do it. I don't know if he is doing it. Aaron Weber. Yeah, man, it's cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and it just became a thing where it was awesome, man. It just became, and not that we were open, like we let anybody on stage. We were so desperate for material. So we'd let like a singer get on stage, a poet, a fucking whoever. So it was really eclectic. It was awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things I've been a part of. I still keep in touch with a lot of those people. And looking back on it now, I realize how much talent was there just by fluke. Because now I got friends of mine, like a friend of mine, Chris in the Philippines, is like a fucking massive rapper. He's fucking amazing. He was just a dude who used to go up on the mic and spit rhymes. Everyone was like, he's all right.
Right.
And now he's in the Philippines
crushing it.
Shit like that. So it's cool to see.
Yeah, because that side of the world is like a mystery almost to like most everyone over here. Like I haven't obviously there's people that have gone over but that's what I mean is like for someone from Mount Pearl to like go over there and just like I helped start a comedy festival in 2009 and it's like it's kind of like
crazy, man.
It's pretty
cool. It happened by fluke. I mean, really, I went over to teach in 2003. I was working on the rigs, hating my life. My my ex was down playing professional basketball in Australia, right? And I was like, I'm going to go work on the rigs, make money, buy a house, right? Be a fucking man. And I just hated it, man. Like,
I remember things like that.
Yeah, man. I'm like, what am I doing? I fucking hate all of this.
Right.
And then I remember that they came recruited people at our school to teach English in Japan. And I wonder what that's like. And I checked it out, and it was really expensive. Then I heard about Korea somehow. I'm like, fuck it, I'll go to Korea. I literally went to Korea Christmas 2003. I didn't even wait for New Year. I left like December 20th because I had to start my job at the beginning of January. And just ended up teaching in Korea for 7 years and blah, blah, blah. And that's how it started.
And here we are.
Man.
Here we are, crushing beers.
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But it's it's awesome, man. I kind of love my journey because it's just different and like it's really strange.
Yeah.
It's just really.
Oh yeah, your career fascinates me.
Yeah, it fascinates me. It's my career. I don't even. Yeah, I just didn't stop.
Yeah.
Right since the minute I started, I didn't stop.
Yeah.
I did like average probably. Like I've done over 3,000 shows.
Yeah, you know, you got
15 years.
big basketball nut at Mount Pearl, done community studies in Cape Breton, do stand up comedy over in fucking Thailand and Mongolia.
Oh, you knew he wasn't good. You knew he wasn't good. Man, this is a hard word. Mongolia.
Hey, he's a hard worker.
Over there in Asia, over there in them countries, you know the ones over there. Man, all the fellas.
He was over there in Asia there. He went over in Asia.
But yeah, it's weird. It's wicked, man. I love it.
Yeah. That's cool. Did you do I'm just bringing up the bio here now, but that's it. People want to know about this shit. I didn't know this either.
I don't mind talking about
21 sets in a day for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was just a bet I had. There was a festival called the Hebangchon Festival in Seoul. And again, these are all these people I was talking about, right? A Filipino rapper buddy, my buddy Lance. Lance. Oh God, I can't remember Lance's last name. It's terrible. Lance Regan.
Mongolia?
Lance Riegel. Lance Riegel is half German, half Canadian guy from Vancouver. Probably the best guitar player I've ever seen in my life. He runs the festival.
No, he says.
All these talented people. So they had basically had two George Streets. Basically what it was. They had two streets that were all bars, and 21 different pubs had shows going on from like noon to midnight. Once a year they do this. Twice a year. Hebangchon Festival, music festival. So I knew the boss, and I was the only comic ever doing it. I'm like, I'd go do a scattered set during the day before they got rowdy. But then I heard, how did I hear this? It was Steve Byrne, I think it was, a Korean comic. Steve Byrne, Korean-American comic. Really funny dude. And he did something like that in New York. He set a world record for some shit. Like, it was something, I can't remember what it was. Something similar.
Right.
And I just got it in my head. I'm like, fuck, I could do it. I could do fucking. So I got a hold of Lance. I'm like, would you let me do a set at every bar during the festival? He goes, yeah, man, if you want. I'm like, fuck, I'll do it. And I'll do a different 10-minute every time. I'll just, fuck it, I'll do every story I've ever fucking remembered,
right.
Or riff or whatever. He goes, so I had to schedule, the scheduling was the hardest part, different bars. So I started at noon. I got that filmed, man. I gotta fucking put that up.
Oh, 100%.
I had two people follow me with cameras. And Holly came with me, my wife. And yeah, man, it was a 12, 13-hour day. And the good, bad, the ugly was deadly, right? Great shows, shitty shows, hecklers, but it also shows the festival. It was cool, man.
Yeah,
I did 21 10-minute sets.
That is sick. How's that not a little documentary?
Right.
Think about it.
Well, I have a film. You know me, man.
You got 210 minutes, plus you like walking up the street and outside the bars and going in and all that stuff. You said they're following you around.
Yeah, that's
right. You fucking cut all that down to 16 and 90 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that out eventually. I'm gonna do something with it.
Oh, that's definitely
something I kind of just did. And
throw that up on YouTube and BrianElward.com.
That's content. It's content right there.
Yeah, BrianElwardComedy.com, right?
Because when I heard it, I was like, 21, 10 minutes. I was like,
yeah,
that's a fucking long.
But I was just
time.
telling random stories, riffing someone, and I'd find something in the bar.
It's 3.5 hours is what that is.
I did. Yeah, it was something like that.
Not counting time in between.
Quick maths.
So I basically did maybe an hour and a half of material, and the rest of it was just fucking around, picking random subjects, and it was only 10 minutes. But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that was, I don't know when that was, but whenever.
Yeah, that's cool. I gotta piss her back.
Yeah, better. That's what I said for.
I forget about that, which is crazy.
Yeah, well, that happens to us all the time. The amount of shit, like again, the tour, I forgot I threw up in Harbour Grace.
You know how it is with me. It's like I go forward, man. Like I don't like looking back on and sitting back going,
Yeah.
Really, I did this, I did that. It's like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
I know.
And then you look back later, and you eventually go, holy shit, I did this, and this, and you don't even remember.
I know.
Steady going.
I know. when I first started comedy, I was really good, really, really good with capturing a lot of moments and getting and then going back and like always like watching my shit, watching my own stuff and analyzing and critiquing myself and then doing stuff and getting stuff up on YouTube and everything else, and I was really good at it. And then I got away from it and.
Well, watching yourself?
No, away from comedy altogether. Right. And then when I came back in a really. I've always said when I came back, after me and my girlfriend broke up, her fiance, when I came back, I was like a completely different person. It's almost, in some ways, it's almost like. It's not.
You're always changing, right?
Yeah, but it's a very mild version of, you know, like you had like Sam Kinison, and then he got in a car accident and became a completely different person. It's like that on a way lower level, but it's like I came in like.
Well, because after your breakup, you mean post breakup?
Yeah, I think like the trauma of that, like, and I just like it's like my brain short circuited out, and like I see it and feel it. And I catch myself on it, I'm like, man, like just being different.
Well, it's also perspective too. I mean, you get to the point where like, who gives a fuck, right? It's just comedy.
But like a lot of my stuff, not just comedy, like in my life, like just different things, like attitude, mannerisms, habits, like almost everything changed.
Yeah, but it's perspective, and that happens. That's part of it.
But then I just got really reckless. Really, before I used to be very anal, and then I got really reckless, and then. The recklessness actually helped really propel me to the next level because I really didn't care and I'd say anything and I'd say everything and I didn't give a fuck.
Were you depressed?
And
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is too.
Definitely.
You're reckless because you just want to feel something, right?
Yeah.
Because you're so depressed, you feel shitty. You're just being reckless. You know something's gonna happen that you're gonna feel.
Yeah. Oh, I was all fucked up in the head. So like, and then I got obviously. Then I got together with another girl, and then that ended horrible fucking 2.5 years later. And then I got really depressed and even more reckless. And then I didn't give a fuck at all. And then I just started doing the best comedy tours here, and now it's like it's whatever. But now like I'm to the point where it's like before again when I started to bring it full circle, like I was really anal, analytical, everything. Right. And now it's just like I'm like I just do and say stuff, and then I don't want to look back. I don't want to look over stuff. Right. I just want to, like you said, I just want to keep moving forward, instead of stopping. Okay, what did I just do here? Piece it together. Should push that out, move forward again. Like it's just constant move forward, just constantly, you know. And maybe that's why people like me and you are able to pump out a new half hour every year because we're always just moving forward and writing and getting a new bit and getting a new story out there, and we don't get too hung up on looking back and whatever. I don't know.
No, I definitely, and it's perspective, man. You just get better. That's the great thing about stand-up. You get better.
You do.
You don't get worse at this. If you're trying, you can't get worse.
Yeah,
so it's kind of you just ageism might enter into it eventually. You might stop listening because you're old, but that'd be the only thing.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just perspective, man. It's like since like the motorbike accident, like I don't give a fuck anymore. When you saw me on tour, I'm doing my panic attacks and being on my back on stage. I'm like, yeah, it's like. You had that perspective, man.
Yeah.
And that's being in your 40s now, too. I'm in my 40s. You guys aren't. It's like something happens to you, man. You just start thinking about time. And you start thinking about death and shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like,
How much time
I never thought about death in my life until about 2 years ago.
Right.
And now every now and again it sneaks in. I'm like, what the fuck am I thinking about this for?
Right.
I started thinking about it over the pandemic.
Did you?
I think it's because my theory is I think it's because when it happens, you're okay with it. You've thought about it enough, and you've pondered on it. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's just an age thing because it's just like I'm 47, so I mean I'm like
Yeah,
I'm not going to live to be 96.
You got like 10 years left.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 6 to 10. 6 to 10. Let's make them count. Let's go.
See. That's the fucking reckless thought you need to have. I got 5 years left. And you just go fucking mad with it.
Right, like how a team plays when they're down, like in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, if you think you got 50 years left, you'd be like, yeah, I'll do it next year.
Yeah, or just.
But if you think you got 5 years left, you're like, I gotta make up for that song now.
Or definitely don't take yourself too seriously. Especially comedy. The worst thing comics do all the time, especially young comics, take themselves so fucking serious, man. It's like at the end of the day, we're telling jokes and stories. Get over yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. And just put your shit out. It is what it is. Once you put it out there, it's not up to you anymore.
Yeah.
They like it or they don't, and whatever. If the ones who like it, they're your people. The ones who don't, then all the best. There's other comics.
I think a lot of people. The only thing I had to compare to is music. Like when you go to play music in front of a crowd, like you compare yourself to you got the greats, then you got locally like Fred Jorgensen, and you got like Chris Ron. You got these like good people that have been playing in front of crowds forever,
right?
And it's like, well, at one point you're gonna have to get up there, and you're not gonna be as good as them at the start.
No,
you got to go, right? And it's the same thing with comedy, I would assume. It's like you compare yourself for the young up-and-coming comics. It's like you're prepared. You're like, man, I'm never going to be as good as them. But it's like, in order to do it, you got to do it.
But the worst thing you do is compare yourself to anyone else, not just in comedy, in life. Yeah. Right? It's a fucking waste.
Killer of joy.
And comedy's like golf, man. It's like golf. You're competing with yourself. You got nothing to do with anyone else. It's your shit, and that's it, man. It's like it doesn't make sense. It's a fuck profession. We talk about it sometimes, right? Where it's like the beginning, the first few years make no fucking sense, right? You're garbage. You're not funny. You're eating shit everywhere you go,
right?
And you're like, see you tomorrow, and you just do it again. You fucking trot on down to the bar, and you're like, it's weird, man.
Right.
But it's like you're just built. Comics are just built a certain way where they can put up with it, man. We're just. We're a little tougher that way.
See you tomorrow.
When it comes to that. Yeah, man. It's weird, man. Because I mean, I was a late bloomer, man. I'm a late bloomer in everything I do. And I honestly was not good at comedy for like 5-6 years. I mean, not good at all. Like, I couldn't believe I was getting away with it.
Right.
Like, I was all right. Like, I had an all right 20, maybe, after 4 years.
Right.
And barely that. It was garbage. And then year 9 for me, they always say like 10,000 hours, Malcolm Gladwell, all that shit, or 10 years. 10 years in comedy. When I hit like year 9, I was fine. I remember just having that moment, man, where I was like, fucking decent at this.
Right.
But that took 9 years.
Right.
And like, 2,000 shows? Not including open mics?
Yeah.
Like, I was a madman my first 10 years of comedy.
Yeah.
I didn't stop. I did more shows than anyone. And, but that's me. I'm a worker. It's not natural. It's like, not on stage anyway. Like, I'm just, like, I believe in banging it out.
Yeah.
Hitting every mic you can and just.
Yeah, I've heard people.
If you go, I can go to some shitty mic here in the city and it don't matter if I can tweak that little joke or get that extra sentence. Boom, worth it. Worth leaving the house.
Yeah.
I totally believe that.
Yeah.
And then shun everything else out. Of course it's shitty. Of course it's sad. Of course there's 9 people there. Who gives a fuck?
Right. 9. Grinding.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Including comics, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's weird. It doesn't make sense. It's a fuck profession.
Yeah, I've heard people here locally, like, when I put off a few shows here and there, like some of the comics, they're like, man, Brian just like shows up everywhere. They're like, Brian's just a workhorse. Like you can see, it's funny, like, because I don't know if they've said this to you, but in my perspective, it's showing me how like you're inspiring people here without even knowing.
Yeah, man, because it's not about that.
You're doing it for you.
It's what we do.
Yeah, you're doing it for you.
It's what we do. And sometimes, honestly, I love like a great open mic as much as I love a show sometimes.
Right.
If I'm having a great time on stage in front of 20 people, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And just the unknown of it too. Anything can happen. Like
a new bit too, man. If we leave the house with a new bit, it's exciting, man. That's all we got. It's a new bit, the new thing, the new sentence, the new right. We're sick.
Yeah, can't wait to try it out.
Ridiculous how excited and like humorly horny you get for a new bit.
You're looking at
thoughts.
Humorly horny, all right.
Yeah, like you get horny after your humor. You're horny for your humor. Like with the new, you're like, like you get excited.
Yeah,
you get excited about a new bit.
Yeah, you're like, this one's gonna land.
Yeah, when a new bit works, it's pretty fun.
Oh, then it works.
Yeah, it's like seeing your baby grow up or something.
Yeah.
It's like, it works.
My jokes are better.
It walks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty great, man.
But it works. Imagine having, like, you're thinking about some missus, and you're, man, I bet she'd be fucking great to bang her, and then you bang her, and she is, or maybe she was even better, right?
It's way better. My stupid new joke.
Than what you imagined.
My new joke sucks. That's compared to that.
Oh. Buddy, it's like that on joke level. When you think, I bet this is great. And then you get up there and turn off, man. It maybe even kills harder than you thought it was gonna.
And when you're like, man, it's the opposite.
Right?
It's like you lost your boner like 2 seconds in.
Dude, I do it all the time. I'm starting to learn now. When I get too excited for a new bit, it's like it's a defense mechanism. It's like I know it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. The more excited I am for a new bit, usually the worse it does.
Right.
It's fucking weird, and I get all excited, and then you do it, and you get nothing, and it's like, fuck. And I'm a weirdo like that because they say you should never really open up with new shit. And also, I always love opening up with new shit because that's just exciting to me. Like I'll do if we go to a new town, I'll just do 3 new jokes off the top, just something. But they're brand new, and I don't have a fucking clue. I might have told the boys.
Right.
And most times I don't even tell them. And I'll try it, and, most of the times it goes all right, but sometimes it's fucking brutal. Just get the fuck out of there. Go on to the real stuff.
Yeah, it's like high risk, high risk. What is it? High risk, high reward?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when it does hit and you went against grain, and then it kills. You're like,
teach yourself to be risky because especially in entertainment, man, you got to take risks.
Yeah, you stay frosty.
You got to take risks. If you don't take risks in comedy, you're a fucking.
Oh no, I couldn't agree more. That's why I'm working on this new double joke from Tim Hortons.
I couldn't agree more.
Ooh. Is there a moose and a beaver in it? There's a moose and a beaver at Tim Hortons.
This new double joke.
And then, do you know what the punchline is of the joke?
What?
A.
Perfect.
All right, this would be a good time to bring this up.
Yeah.
So when I was getting ready, doing a little, I know you, I've known you, not as long as the boss, but I know you a little bit now.
Yeah.
But I was looking up little things and like just seeing what I could get to. Anyway, I went on TikTok and I typed your name in. You're not on TikTok yet.
No.
This is great.
So
you don't even know this.
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
know
think you know. So anyway,
it's blew my mind.
So I go on TikTok.
I hate this.
No, it's
No,
you're
you're not.
it's cool.
You're gonna
it's cool
fuck,
for sure.
No. Hey, he's gonna love it.
Yeah, man.
But he's gonna act like he don't.
It's deadly. So anyway, I just like type in your name. There's like a couple like comedy dynamics. There's a couple pages, like comedy pages, that have like some bits of your special up, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this one that it's like, I guess it's like a random. His name is Matt Clune. So his biggest video. So he's from Australia. No, I don't think you know him. I think he's just a fan. But he has like 7,000 followers, and his biggest video is him lip syncing your bit.
From Big in Asia on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so
his most viewed video on TikTok.
And it's got like 340,000 views, like 60,000 likes.
What?
Yeah.
And he's lip syncing your
and he's
bit.
lip syncing your video.
You didn't tag me in it?
No.
Because you can't, you're not
on TikTok.
You're not, you can't tag.
My bad.
Kind of impossible. So anyway, I saw it. I just commented on it. I was like, oh man, just because the commenting keeps it in the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, he just responded back. And I said, I'm actually going to be on a podcast with Brian tomorrow, and I'm definitely going to tell him about this. So anyways, he was like, where do I find it? So I told him Colin Hollett. Anyways, when Colin just did a video on Facebook, he's already following Colin on Facebook.
All right.
So anyways, yeah, this is it here. Like, you probably hear it through the thing. Hold on now.
I'm a fucking circus bear. People don't give a fuck about my feelings. Everywhere I go, I'm in China, right? I'm in an elevator in China. They picture me on an elevator with like 17,000 people. It's a big elevator. I step on the elevator and it starts to beep. Well, it's beep, 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 right, which means there's too much weight on the elevator. They all looked at me like it was my fault. Like, how about 4,000 or 5,000 you fuckers get off? Do I know this guy?
No, he's a fan. Just keep watching.
This is some bizarre shit, man. Can people watching this see this? They can't see it. No, but no.
They can't see it, but we can put it up on the screen probably, maybe.
Right.
That's pretty cool, man. I don't know why he would take the time. That's bizarre as fuck.
Because he's a big fan.
Yeah.
That's nice, but that's great.
So, you know what?
Big fan. He didn't even fucking have me.
You're not on TikTok.
You're not on TikTok.
Instagram or Facebook, you can hit me up.
Maybe he's on. Maybe he does follow you.
Following you. You're pretty weak.
How much did you say the numbers were?
So he's got 340,000 views on that.
That's hilarious.
And then it's like 60,000. It's like I think it's like 55,000 likes.
That's wicked, man. Anyone does that.
I just thought it was hilarious because like I just went on there,
hilarious.
and then I realized I just typed in Brian Aylward,
right, and it came up.
and then I just to see if you had TikTok, and then I realized you didn't, and then there was videos there of you, yeah. And I just thought because it's like he has like
funny.
he's from Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
How you going, mate?
He might have seen you in the Fringe Fest.
Yeah, maybe. He could have.
Watch it and then followed you and then seen that you had that up.
What was that?
I don't know, man.
Know what I mean?
It might be. we were talking about hecklers earlier. I had 2 hecklers in Perth. I went to the Fringe World Festival.
Yeah.
In whatever the fuck it was, 5 years ago, I suppose, 5-6 years ago.
Yep.
And I had a couple of hecklers. I ended up doing mushrooms with them. Long story short, it was what the fuck I had. Whatever the joke was, they heckled me a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And they were the kind of guys we were talking about earlier. They came up to me afterwards.
All right.
Like, great show, man. I was like, get the fuck away from me, right?
Yeah.
But they seemed all right.
Yeah.
And the buddy goes, can I buy you a beer? I'm like, yeah, man, I'll have a beer. Like, let's sit down.
Yeah,
with
mate.
Buzzers, yeah, mate. You invite them buy you a beer, yeah. Fucking get fucked, mate. And fucking, yeah, Sheila and fucking Craig, yeah.
Sheila and Craig.
And then the boys, I don't know why we started talking about Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. The boys started, well, the boys pretty cool, right? And he goes, get you another beer? I'm like, I'll have another beer, right? And I was like, fuck, the boys bought me 2 beers. I should buy them a beer. Boys, you want a beer? Anyway, 3 beers in. And then he goes, man, I've been waiting for this moment, man. We think you're fucking hilarious, man. And we'd be honored if you came over to our house, man. I got these mushrooms. I've had them frozen for a bunch of months. And I'm like, fuck, let's go, buddy. And we went over to his house, man, and he had this pimp-ass fucking spot in Perth overlooking. It was a fucking gorgeous condo overlooking Perth. And we're there, and he goes, oh, that's what he said. He goes, you can come over and hang out in our fucking sound room, mate. I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't know. And he had this room downstairs that he had it all, like, soundproofed. It was just like a room, like a living room or whatever. Fucking massive speakers in every corner, and we just started playing any music we want. We were fried on mushrooms, right? And it's just 3 dudes, right? I'm like, when are we gonna bang, boss?
That sounds deadly.
Right? And it was just fucking speakers in every corner, and we're just blasting music. Anyway, I ended up passing out there. And I wake up the next morning, his sweet wife from England, she was so sweet, she woke up, she goes, hello, could I get you a spot of tea? You want breakfast? And I was like, a little brekkie? And I was like, where the fuck am I?
Wow.
And that might be him. Because I can't remember one of them. That could be him for sure. I'll hit.
That's
him
how fucked up you are. That might be.
It was like
yeah, you're a fraud.
2017 or something.
Right.
Yeah, you say it like it was 2007.
Dude, 2017.
Yeah, I mean that might as well have been.
You know,
that's 5
shows
years ago, man. That's like almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Fair enough.
Right, it's 2022 in a month.
I'm just saying, hey, that tells you how eventful your life is. Because tell you what, nobody else will forget that.
No, truly.
Nobody else will look at it. Oh, it might be him.
No, that's true.
Right? That's how eventful your life
awesome,
is.
Man.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty
about 4 years ago, like it was 40 years ago. You're sounding like some fucking veteran from the war.
Dude,
that might have been that one.
That's what it's like, man.
I know.
Like,
just
that's what it sounds like, right? You're like, yeah, man, 4 years ago.
That just.
It's a long time in comedy years.
It is. It is,
That's
man.
great, man.
Dude, I thought it was pretty funny because, like, and then I just commented on it, and then he was like, "No way!" He was like,
name?
Matt Clune or Clunes. So, I mean, he's going to be
took the
watching
time.
this. But I told him I was like, "I'll come back."
Matt.
I told him that I'm like, I'll listen. I'll comment back right here and let you know where to find it. But he already followed Colin.
No, that's
Matt, if
and
you're watching this, do more. Do more of it. Don't listen to him. Do more.
And it wasn't Matt, the other guy. It definitely wasn't Matt, the other guy.
Do more.
Was an Indian dude, and he was so nice. And here's how nice he was. So when I was thinking about going down to the Fringe Fest again, like a year or 2 later, 2 years later, I think. And he hit me up because I guess I was posting about it, and he was like, "Man, please come." He had this pimp ass spot. Like he asked me to come stay at his house for free, and he couldn't have been sweeter, man. Like so, him and his wife. And in Australia, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it, but it was nice to offer someone come in your home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, for sure. That's almost like Newfie style.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love Australia, man. We eventually got to get down there. Australia was great.
Dude, I can't fucking wait to get down
It's
there.
just such a,
Yeah.
it's a mission to go back and forth. But
Like 2 days, like 22 hours of
if
flying
you're
or
not
something.
really set up right, you might take a hit, right, money-wise.
Their hospitality has to be through the roof, though.
The hospitality is awesome. I got lucky because I went down to a festival, and by fluke, I did my show was nominated Best in Fest, my first show. And what they do then, so they have it for the whole week. So then when they go, we got thousands of people on the streets looking at the charts for those shows. But when you get Best in Fest, they put a green dot by your name, by your show. So that means you're one of the best. So
Really?
inclined to go. So from day one, that green dot put hundreds of people in my venue that week.
I like paying people.
Paying people. So instead of me having 9 people, I had
Wow. 60
60 or 70 a show, which wasn't bad my first time.
That's sick.
Yeah. So that
Wasn't bad for your first time. It's fucking deadly, boy.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Right. Because you could have not. You could have taken a
Jello
hit.
Company, shout out to Jello Company, were awesome. GELO, they were awesome. They kind of represented me, took care of me. They were deadly. And they had a headquarters there because this is a Fringe festival where it just takes over kind of the city. And this is a place you can go and hang out, play ping pong, pool, get to see your, your fellow comics and just hang out and shit.
Yeah.
Because Evan Demarez was there at the time, and he's a funny dude, Canadian guy.
Man, I can't fucking wait. I cannot wait to get down there.
Australia's a good time.
I'm so excited.
Expensive as fuck, though.
Oh, it's super
Remember, I was
expensive.
there, I was at the bar at the bars, right? And the bars ordering a beer, and I was like, I'll get a beer, I suppose. And I was like, I have a Heineken pint. And I was like, fucking $19, mate. And I'm like, yeah, man, for sure. Trying to be cool. In my head, I'm like, the last beer I'm having here.
Holy.
$19.
I can't imagine the brain hemorrhage that you were having.
Oh, yeah, you know me.
Brian, just so you know, Tyler, Brian is. Oh man, I've never fucking seen. It's like not in this age group. Like I've seen older men like it, but for and most older men, I don't see like his reaction. It's okay. Tell me how funny it is, like for me trying to say words. How funny it is for him to try to pay for anything that's not from the Dollarama is.
But it ain't funny to me though. Like I think it's because I lived in Asia so long. Like
no, that's what
like,
makes it. That's what makes it funnier.
Dude,
that's what makes it funnier to everyone else.
Like I can't believe the prices. I mean, not even no jokes here. I can't believe it. I used to make fun of people like, oh, bars are gonna be $3 soon. They will.
Like in Asia, you mean?
No, here.
Oh, here.
The prices here are insane. Dude.
High.
You can't get a Pepsi, a bag of chips in a bar now for less than $5.
No.
Not a chance.
No.
Unless you go to a dollar. It's so, yeah.
Even Dollarama, I don't think it's less than $5.
I lose my mind all the time. I'll go into the store, grab a sandwich, grab a thing. Like, that'll be 23. I'm like, what in the...
It is. Well, gas stations are, I think, some of them are fucking worse than airports.
For sure.
It's the airports of the road. They are, and you can't go to them. You got to get off the fucking. You got to get out of the fucking gas stations, and you got to get into the WalMarts and the Dollaramas or some fucking convenience store that's in the town. If you're sitting just to the corner stores, gas stations, they fucking bend you over. No warning, no lube, no courtesy spit. Coming in dry, bite the pillow, and take
Jesus,
it.
Man.
That's what it is.
Where's that one out? It just took a turn, didn't it? Holy fuck.
Bite the pillow, bitch. I'm coming in dry. That's one of my favorite sayings.
Glad there's a table here now. I'm hard as a rock.
See, that's going in the compilation.
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 Yeah.
No, but I honestly can't, man. I can't believe how, I don't know how people are doing it. I mean, I've only been home now a few weeks off tour. Me and Holly, our wife, we went to Costco, and it's like, we got a couple of bags of groceries.
Oh, yeah.
$300.
Oh, yeah. I know.
It's like, what? Like, it's bad, man. Anyway, whatever. I am.
Well, it's not.
When it comes to that, I'm an old man. Like, I really don't get it, and it makes smoke come. If I was a cartoon, smoke would just be out of my ears.
Sure. I mean, you're deals oriented. You're very deal oriented.
Yes, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
Like 99% of the time. But it's so funny to watch how upset he gets because you got to understand he's coming from Thailand. So it's blowing his head way more.
Oh, truly though.
Right?
Blow my head.
And then the 1% of the time that I'm like, come on, man. Like that's and watching him, like I don't know, it could be over a pair of socks, right? Three pairs of socks at Winners is $12.99. $12.99! 3 pairs, or whatever it is.
Oh, this year I found a deadly old pair of jogging pants in the Walmart in fucking Brooks, Alberta for $15. That was a good steal.
$15.
$15?
I thought you said it on purpose.
You did say $15. He was thinking. You know what he was thinking? He was thinking that the pants are baller. That's what he was thinking. These pants are fucking baller. Picked up these pants, man, for fucking $15.
But yeah, man, I get irate. But it actually helps me with my diet because I refuse to do it. I'm at that point now. I'm starting to get fucking my old man rebellion.
Right, you're like,
I will not
I'll
pay
starve.
$2.35 for a fruit nut bar.
I refuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see Brian with his glasses on after a hangover, checking the labels on like all these granola bars and stuff, right?
All over. I'm just Thailand's got me spoiled. That's all. Because I mean, like I said, Holly and I can go out and
sexy
have
massages,
a nice dinner and yeah, we can have dinner like a dinner at a 4-star hotel, say, bottle of wine, and go get a massage afterwards. Definitely less than $100. Way less than $100. Like less than $60.
Wow.
For all that.
Wow.
Right. So
yeah, that's nuts.
I've been there for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm spoiled rotten.
Yeah. That's crazy. I remember.
And a massage.
Massage $12 for an hour.
Man.
$12. We got one on the road. Remember? I got one on the road. We do it for a laugh now. Get them on the road. And it's just like, I don't enjoy them. I just do it because the boys love it. I got the buys into it, and now like I'll pay $100, and it's just some Mrs. Like she's fucking finger painting like a child. And all in my head the whole time, I'm like, I get 7 of these. Same price.
Right.
And that only makes me laugh because I know the buys are loving it.
Right.
Story out of it or something.
Other than the stand-up, of course, my favorite part of Brian on tour is without a doubt
the prices of things.
just watch his reaction to the prices and stuff. It's my favorite part.
Trying to be better.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Not happening.
How much is a deadly bowl of pho in Vietnam?
Pho.
You notice how I said it properly?
I did.
You could get it on the street for like $1. That's what's great about Vietnam, because the street food alone, you don't have to ever go into a store in Vietnam. You could live off street food and eat like a king.
You know what?
Dude, for $5 a day, if you're a little crafty and you got a bit of go to you, you could definitely, 'cause some people are lazy, but if you got like a bit of go to you, you could easily eat in Vietnam like a king, like 3 meals a day for less than $10.
People from Scandinavia, man.
Like
well,
food, like that's sushi, that's all the stuff.
Well, I see the way they like. There's like woks just on the, like they're like cooking in woks, and man,
Best, yeah, just. And those are the ones. The dirtiest ones are the ones. I see an old lady with her fucking nails, fucking all crusty and shit. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good.
perfect. They don't clean the pan. Deadly.
People, you think people from Scandinavia looks at us like that? Because anytime I've ever talked to anybody from over there, like especially my real estate days, they're fucking floored by how cheap everything over here is from Scandinavia.
Right.
Well,
And
Everything's relative.
right,
Yeah.
right. So that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, maybe.
They like I remember being on the phone with somebody from England, even just England, and she lived buying real estate. And she's in some condo. It was like $459 for the condo. It's like over there in Elizabeth Avenue. Like that's like $450, almost $500,000 for a condo. And this is like 10 years ago, mind you, too, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's like $459. I'm like this behind the mic,
Gritting your teeth.
behind the phone, like it's $459, right? And she's like, why is real estate so cheap? Your real estate must be rubbish. Right? It's so cheap. I've been looking at your real estate prices. Is this a joke?
Great accent. You gotta keep doing that.
Yeah, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where.
I like it.
I can't do it. I'm not Lynch. I can't do accents.
Say a 5-syllable word in that accent.
What's a 5-syllable word?
Carlo Clavacchio.
Compilation.
Compilation.
But yeah, compared to them, it is.
Yeah, and she's like,
expensive, man.
she said the houses in Newfoundland must be rubbish because they're so cheap. And like, I'm showing her stuff that's like $500,000 for a fucking condo under 1,000 square feet. Thinking, fuck.
But Newfoundland is expensive, man. Now it is.
Right,
It is,
but
yeah.
but
How long ago was that though? It's after getting way more
it was
expensive.
after the boom.
Well, compared
So-
to
so-
anywhere, Newfoundland's not cheap. Newfoundland's fucking expensive.
It is, yeah.
Right. So
Maybe the
no,
Scandinavians
yeah.
are like-
You compared to Newfoundland, but compared to Canada, because lots of parts of Canada, especially the bigger spots, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, yada yada, real estate here is still cheap. So then even those places is cheap compared to them places over there. So they look at Newfoundland, and we complain about real estate prices there, and the only reason they're not snatching it up is because the weather sucks, and they're like, fuck that, I can buy real estate in a bunch of places in the world, why am I buying in Newfoundland? And that's the only thing that saves us. Our weather is our fucking savior from the world not just coming and swallowing us up.
They also have like training courses in prison over there. Like they're way more ahead of us in some ways. You know what I mean? They're putting out prisoners like
They're
that
the
are
best
like
of the
full on
whites.
carpenters.
The best of the whites. Scandinavians are the best of the whites.
For sure.
Oh, and
We're almost the worst.
well, yeah. I was gonna say we're middle. I was
We're
like,
at the bottom.
no, yeah, we're not the worst, but we're close to the
Newfoundlanders
worst.
don't give a fuck. That's why it doesn't matter how expensive it is here. People are just like, whatever. We'll just live in debt
It's
forever.
you know what?
Yeah.
The more I
Like,
keep,
whatever. Yes, get
Live
another
in
car.
debt
Fuck it. Yes,
forever and then
$70,000
die.
truck to open my $500,000 house. Yes.
It's-
I worked at Petro-Canada, man. Don't worry, I can afford it. Well, my missus
That's
got a new job at
hilarious.
Dollarama. We're good, man. Let's get
How-
another vehicle.
how
Turd
much
vehicle. Let's get a turd vehicle.
how much we don't give a fuck is insane. It's insane. And the more you travel, the more you realize how much Newfoundland don't give a fuck and how insane it is.
Well, just in general.
We just don't care.
The other day, I
Yeah.
saw Mrs. True story, bought a house. Mrs. was walking down the street, dropped her cheesies, right? Bag of cheesies. Dropped on the road, right? Cheesies everywhere on the road.
Yeah.
Did she keep walking? No, she did not. Did she pick the cheeses up, put them back in the bag? No, she did not. She sat on the fucking road like she was at a restaurant and just started eating fucking cheesies. I was like, yeah, I'm home.
Wow.
I'm home.
Where was
Just
this?
sitting there
Cooksand Road.
Yeah, just around Cook County.
Oh, buddy, you are living in. That is that's ground zero for gold. Because the boys, Costa and Luke.
Yeah, you got to get a Pollock humor off that.
100%.
Well, I posted something. I mean, I shouldn't really say this, but whatever, don't matter. I posted just a foolish joke about. So the cops showed up at some house I don't know, about a week ago. Now,
Hold on.
Hold
on, before you go into this story, I don't want to walk across the camera. So I'm going to get some more beers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the cop I wake up and I fucking go outside and there's three cop cars directly outside the house. I'm like, what in the fuck is this? We just moved in, right? I'm like, I don't want any heat, man. Get the fuck away from the house, right? That's what I'm thinking. And I didn't realize earlier, apparently somebody had a scuffle and they tackled a guy in front of our house and he assaulted a cop with her. I didn't know. I literally found out that yesterday. This happened 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so I just take a picture of the thanks, man. I took a picture of the cop cars outside the house, right? And I just posted a little stupid joke, just saying there's more cooking on Cook Street than Jig's dinner, right? Right? A little stupid joke. But not making fun of skeet bags or anything, because I'm a fucking skeet bag. I get it. It wasn't about that. It was just just stupid, right? Anyway, I had a buddy of mine from Mount Pearl who knows some people who told me that a couple of guys in the neighborhood weren't too happy with that post and take it down.
No way.
Dead serious.
Really?
Dead serious. And I was like, get the fuck. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting in bed on the computer, right? I hear get a Facebook call, right? My buddy. And I'm like, what the fuck? He don't call me much. I'm like, what the fuck's he want? And Holly's right next to me. Who's that? I'm like, because I didn't want to tell her. Because I was like, when I heard what happened, I didn't want to tell her that. And I was like, I'm like, man, it's just a fucking joke. But I took it down because I'm like, I'm not jeopardizing my fucking health.
Family's safety.
Joke. But yeah.
Wow.
Paul said, take it down. Not cool. So I was like, all right, no big deal.
Mm-hmm. So you take it down?
Any big deals live on Cookstown Road?
That's not word of Colin. A fucking stupid joke.
Right? Well, it's not.
I'm going to keep my 37 likes, and Holly might get beat in the fucking head getting out of the car one night.
No, I get it. You're right. I know. I get it. I know. I didn't.
It's a different kind of cancel culture around there. You'll get canceled for real.
I didn't shake my head like this out of more so
disbelief.
Yeah. Listen, I love it. I love the area. I love our little house. It's great. I know it's a little whatever.
I'm just saying that reaction out of me was just. It was more like, for fuck's sakes.
Dude, I hated it. Part of it was like
with the world.
I didn't like it because I was like. It wasn't about
that is a different
world,
but that is a different type. That's a different type of cancel culture. They don't give a fuck what you say about anything else.
No, and that is you're talking about the street, people on your street or areas, man. Like you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I get it. I'd delete it in a heartbeat once I find out as
37
well.
37 likes.
Dude, I met my neighbor finally yesterday. He's best kind, and he told me a lot about the street, which is awesome. Gave me a big history lesson. It was deadly.
Yeah.
And but it's also real shit. He was also saying, "Oh, see that buddy across the street?
Right.
Whatever, 10 years ago, something. He over some bullshit. He burnt his house down, burned half the neighborhood down."
Yeah. Oh, it's a real.
Right. I deleted a post last night that I made yesterday.
There's something beautiful about it too.
I love it.
I deleted a post last night that I made yesterday afternoon because it didn't have enough likes. And 9 likes, and they're all laughy likes, but wasn't enough.
Laughy likes.
Oh man.
Yeah. No blue thumbs up. All laugh likes. Deadly. Great ratio. I was like,
great ratio.
Yeah.
That's so weird that we live in a society where we do that, man. Like, it blows my mind.
I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about this. You think about this with your Facebook fan page and shit.
So
even IG, they could take that away from you tomorrow.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Facebook, there's no more fan pages.
Yeah.
Or just because if they feel like it. All
then
the work
what?
you put into it meant nothing. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. So was it even real in the first place?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's that meme.
Yes, it was.
There's that meme where
it's
it says,
right.
imagine they delete Instagram tomorrow and boom, you're not a model anymore. Right? There's that meme because it's there's girls on there that has 25 million followers because they got a nice ass and a nice set of titties, and then it's gone. Right? And then it's just poof in midair, and you're just a hot girl walking around the mall, with no following.
Show her hole on TikTok then.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy, man. It's I wonder sometimes what is real. It's
that stuff makes you want to do steroids and just say fuck it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Jacked.
What makes you want to do steroids?
Just that stuff that you hear that some missus got some big old arse and she's got millions of views. Oh, so if I guess big old guns on me, that's it. People are gonna fuck me because it's true.
I don't think it would take with you.
Probably.
No, it'll probably take more because it's ridiculous. It's more ridiculous.
His tongue would just come out of his mouth, start hanging down like a waterfall.
What would take?
Roids.
Roids wouldn't take.
I thought you meant like Instagram. Like I still wouldn't get a follow out of
Roids
it.
wouldn't work on you.
No, they wouldn't take.
No.
You meant-
Your body would be like, no, bye. Well, we don't want to be at this.
Oh man, I'm telling this story. I don't give a fuck. Remember when Colin did a little tiny bit of HGH for a laugh, and he took too much. Okay,
This happened. I took a bit of HGH.
He took a bit of HGH.
somehow
I'm
I
telling
fucked
it.
up the dosage.
We're telling everything. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
So the best part about it is he went to go get the little it's not like, muscular injections. It's just like a little tiny little, right?
And I was
Anyways,
microdosing
he
it.
panicked because
No,
Mrs.
I'm
knew.
just taking it.
No, I was running with it, but I was taking it too.
Oh yeah, he was like hiking the hill like 3 times a day. Anyway, try it out, right? Fuck it, try it out. I guess I get it. I would do it too. HGH, yeah. Anyways,
Hiking,
so
goddamn hiking.
he the missus that was at the drugstore, the lady that was at the drugstore, like recognized him. He started to get paranoid that because he's like looking for needles, right? And then she was kind of like, "What's this for? What's this for?" Right? And he was just like, "Give me these ones." And he just left and he started using them. Anyways, they were way too big. Anyways, he basically, long story short, he was going around. I swear to God, he was going around the house like this. Head. God, he basically restarted his hypothalamus.
Jeez.
Buddy, like my brain was trying to grow.
Why did you want to do it?
HGH, man.
They say it's the
Because I
fountain of
wanted to
youth.
build muscle and lose fat, man. I wanted to build strength faster.
It works in blind clinical trials, all right?
Yeah, and all my buddies are on it, and it's fucking deadly. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Right.
And I did it, and you know what? And I did it for a couple weeks, and it was great until I ran out of needles, and then I had to go get more needles. But I got the wrong size needles, and I gave myself okay. I went from I was giving myself honestly a quarter or less than what everyone else is doing. Like I was microdosing it, set out small. I went from doing a quarter of what people are at to 4 times more.
Four times
more
more.
than everyone else is at.
Than what a prepubescent child has in their body.
And then I was going around, and I did that 2 days in a row, and I was just like, my head, man.
And he was doing sober January at the time, and he was like, man, last time I gave up booze, I got headaches like this too, man.
Sober January. Jack and the fucking HGH.
Oh, man,
obviously it works, so you should be happy.
He was like, my eyeballs are popping out of the head, man. That's what he was going around saying.
Obviously you look great.
Yeah. You're glowing. You're glowing.
Dude, I hate you.
HGH was a G gravy? You had a different kind.
Heavy
Homegrown gravy.
Homegrown gravy. No, that's HGG.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
but
fucked
it's
it
still
up.
there in the fridge.
You fucking...
It's still there.
Yes, it should be. Leave it alone.
Oh, man.
well,
but
that's
that
what
was
I've been doing.
Man, you should see me and Nick talking about that, man. That is...
Doing HGH during sober January.
Walking around the house.
It's a perfect calm story. It makes total sense.
Oh, man. It feels like my eyeballs are popping out. And I was like, man, and I was thinking, you are taking steroids.
Oh, man, that's true.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
Right?
Makes total sense.
Yeah, he basically brought himself back to puberty. And it was like, all right, we're growing again. All right, boys, start that back up.
Did you get any results out of it? What'd you feel like? Did you get any muscle tone? Did you get any...
You're supposed to be doing it for 6 months
I didn't
before you
stay
do
at it
it.
long enough.
It's a minute, right?
I didn't do it long enough to really get any results. The most results I got was when I fucking went overboard with it, and I felt like my head was going to explode. I'd say, dude, 70% of it is still left in there, in the
I know
fridge.
guys in college used to do it, and they used to get crazy results, but they were crazy in the
But
gym.
they used to get it out of cadavers then, too. They used to get it out of
Yeah.
dead people.
And it's more like your recovery time and shit is way
That was 2-3 years ago?
Nah, man, 10 or 15 years ago, then around
No,
10.
me doing it.
Oh, yeah, 2 years ago. It's still in the bacteriostatic water in there.
Yeah, it's still. I'll show you
Say
after the
that, say
podcast
that.
over.
Let's bring it out, man. Fuck it.
Bacteria. Bacteria.
Jesus, stop it, man. I feel like I'm getting epilepsy. Fucking Christ, man.
I sound like George Bush. Bacteria.
Back. Fucking big chip.
Bacteria.
If you don't know how to
Bacterial.
pronounce it, it should be put in your body a fucking... You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's not true because that applies for fuck. You ever read ingredients anything?
That's true.
That you put in your body, you can't pronounce most of it.
You
Yeah,
got me.
there it is. There, look.
Somatropin.
Here, say that.
Say this word.
Yeah, A1 on the side.
Right, can't pronounce it and inject it into himself, right?
But he's right, though. The food we put in ourselves.
Arctotropin.
The confidence. The confidence in that.
Arctotropin. Come on. ARC. Right? Top
It's arctotropin for sure.
Arctotropin. There you
I
are.
don't know what. Looks like there's a bit of gravy mixed down on top of this.
You weren't scared to put needle? I'd never be able to put needle myself.
No, I was putting it here.
I know, but still.
It's only.
I was scared of growing old.
I think you still got a bit of arctotropin in there.
Oh, buddy. I'm still not against doing it.
No, I'm so foolish, man. Have a bit of discipline. Have a bit of discipline. Fucking hit the hills. Fucking get off sugar.
Look, this is how much you use.
Right?
This is one.
See how much of it's
Well,
still
you're
left?
probably doing Sober January again, are you?
I do Sober January every year.
That's around the corner. So that'll help. You know how it is, man. You just fucking bit of discipline for a month and you're back.
I was just like, man, I've been fat my whole fucking, almost my whole life, and like I've leaned out and been in great shape a couple of times, but I've never been strong. I've never been whatever, and I was like, fuck this, man. You only live once. I'm gonna fucking get on this and get strong. And you know what was like, honestly, just being straight up honestly, like I wasn't about getting blown up and being massive. I didn't want that. That's why I was taking less than what most people take. Like it was about just giving me a little boost. It was more so about, honest to God, I swear to God, my back. I swear, I'm not.
All right, go ahead, bud. Me back. Go ahead, tell me about your
Buddy,
back.
if I wanted to get jacked,
When
I
you
would have got.
injected in your back,
I would have went on something else.
When you put it in your front, put it in your back.
Because you don't put it into where you want. You don't whatever. So like it was for most of my knee and my back,
Yes.
and I had a.
Your elbow, for sure. Remember the elbow, tennis elbow? You had that.
No,
I get it, man. I get it.
No, and I had a few buddies, and one in particular that had a brutal back, and then he got on that, and man, he fixed his back right off.
Jeez, don't tell me that. I'll be honest.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
they say that, like, so when you're producing the most of it in your life is when you're like 12 or 13, right? And like you go out and play all day and you go do crazy stuff and play tackle football and then you go to sleep like 12 o'clock at night, wake up 7 in the morning, do the whole thing over again. Because you have that like measure of it in your body. So if you don't, because like you see like bodybuilders, they have like a G gut because it like regrows your organs,
Right.
Because they take so much of it. But if you keep your levels optimal, is what they say.
Yeah.
You then, because it dips after,
Dude,
23.
I know guys that did it. You got to be, first of all, you got to be a maniac in the gym.
And it's also
Your
expensive
diet
as
is
fuck,
expensive
man.
as
It is.
fuck.
Yeah.
I know a guy used to take, what was it called? Some shit they used to give horses to take the fat off horses. It's really popular. It's like one of the better steroids, I suppose. I forget what it's like. It's insane. Like the difference is you would see a difference in him in a week.
Yeah.
And he was just big jack dude, like probably like 5'10", like 230.
Just cut you right up.
Yeah, but he'd be like he'd go mad, like get on the creatine and do all that shit for power and like for strength. Then he'd get on this, whatever the fuck it was called, the horse shit, and he'd be ripped 2 weeks later.
Right, the cut's going to be
2 weeks
insane.
later. It was fucking nuts. How terrifying is that? That's terrifying.
Yeah.
You ever watch?
There's no way you're not going to die early taking that shit.
Yeah.
You ever look at some of the guys in one championship?
Yeah.
That are next level jacked and shredded. Like makes the UFC guys look like me.
Yeah, because
Like,
they'll technically allow it, don't they?
Yeah,
they're-
it's
they don't
not
have-
in your contract.
They don't have USADA testing them. They don't have it. What's funny is they're way more anal about the weight cutting than they are about the drug taking. Right?
They're all fucking on that shit, man. Most of
Buddy, well,
Definitely.
listen.
You got
even,
to,
listen.
recovery,
Even
man.
even in the UFC, they are like, but it's UFC has USADA, which is the same people who test the Olympics, right? Like they test heavy. So if you want to do drug testing in UFC and get away with it, you got to be some fucking advanced. It's hard, and then
or you just got to be fucking one of their favorites, one of the best fighters, and they'll leave
that
you
and that
fucking
too,
alone.
and that definitely
Moneymaker.
But you look at Bellator, and you look at especially one championship over in Asia, and you look at the physique at a bunch of these fighters, and you compare them to UFC, and you're like, holy fuck, man! Like these guys are like something out of a cartoon.
Elaine Elgani or whatever his name is.
Right,
He's a
you
heavyweight.
know?
He's like an acrobatic heavyweight.
It's, right. It's full of them, man.
Did you remember-
The guy that just knocked out, well, I shouldn't say just knocked out, but like, I guess it was over a year ago. What's his face? He was like a street fighter, blonde fella.
Oh, Sage Northcutt?
Yeah, Sage Northcutt. Yeah. So he went over to one championship. Do you know Sage Northcutt?
Yeah,
so he was with Uriah Faber. Anyways, he got cut from the UFC even though he had a decent record and he good following just because of his physique and everything was so great and he had his look, California look, and he was exciting with his movement and stuff. But he ended up getting cut. He goes to one championship. And he fights this no-name guy.
No, he wasn't a no-name guy. He's not a no-name guy. That guy was a 3-time world Muay Thai champion.
Okay, hold on.
Some bum.
So, hold on. What I meant by that...
Yeah. No one knows who he is.
Right.
Mainstream,
Of course he's...
What's his name?
Of course,
Houston...
Right. I mean no name to us. Like, not on our radar. Like you did not hear telling him before that fight.
I heard of him on Rogan. Because Rogan's a big fan of him.
Okay, well, maybe you did. But, it's very rare.
Yeah, he's like not mainstream.
And that's what I meant. I'm not saying... Of course he's talented. I know that. But, anyways, he is fucking shredded.
Yeah.
He broke... And Sage Northcutt has been in MMA since he was 5 years old. He was supposed to be like this prodigy. He literally broke his face. Like, there's with his fist. And, MVP...
With his fist, yeah.
Yeah, because Bellator...
He usually takes a bat.
Right, or your knee.
Yeah, or your knee, yeah.
Right? He broke it with the fist.
Yeah, it was like a step back left.
Cosmo
Alexander is his name.
Right. Which I've been watching MMA for so fucking long, and the only time I've seen someone's face get broke is GSP broke Josh Koscheck's orbital bone. And that was only small, but he got a lot of swelling. And Jose Aldo fucked someone else up every one time. But, it's and that's like crack. This guy, full on broke his face.
Yeah, it was
it was fucked.
Oh, you guys will love this. You guys know who Bob Sapp is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so just before I left Thailand, right, all this COVID shit, I come back home now. Won't be going back to Thailand until next year sometime. So just before I left, so I know the guy, it's called Full Metal Dojo. So that's the biggest MMA kind of outfit in Thailand. I know the guy that runs it. His name is John Nutt. He's from Boston. Great dude. But he tries to do it a little differently. So he just has kind of crazy. He'll have little people fighting each other. He'll have women doing leg wrestling. He'll have 3-on-1. He'll do. But it's getting really popular.
Right.
Anyway, he got a hold of Bob Sapp, and so now Bob Sapp is behind him. So now Bob Sapp is in Thailand. I mean, he's going to all these events, and he's still Bob Sapp. It's insane. He's insane. And so then he was asking me to be a writer on it because he's starting to blow up. And I know a little bit about fighting. I'm like, I wouldn't mind writing on it, but I want to be involved. So when I go back, that's one of the things I'm going to be. I'm going to be like a little this tag team little person manager.
No way.
Yeah, dude, I can't fucking wait.
Wait, a little person manager?
Yeah, dude, there's a bunch of, it's Full Metal Dojo it's called, but there's a bunch of people, but I told them that's what I want to be. I want to be a manager of little people.
Right.
And I'm going to come up with a whole character and be a full-on, WWF 1980s type
No way.
I can't fucking wait.
Oh, man, that's going to be sick.
I was supposed to do it. We all had it set up. I was supposed to do a show, had it set up. The ring was even set up. It was in Phuket, Thailand, and it got shut down by COVID. And I was like, all right, it is what it is.
Oh, man.
It's going to happen. It's gonna happen,
man.
Because my goal was that I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight on a low level thing, but that was before my motorcycle accident and shit.
Yeah.
Because I used to kickbox, do Muay Thai and stuff, and just on a lower level where I wasn't scared and in danger, or whatever. For life. But then that's out the window. So I'm like, fuck, I'll be a manager.
I want to do where I can.
Man, that's sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some sicko videos of that.
I want to do it on a low level where I can bully some people. Like, since people get on my level or better, I was like, no, I don't want to fucking do that.
What?
I was like, I want to be, where I can bully some people. Like, as soon as some people get on my level or better, I'm like, no, I don't want to.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
You never want to do that.
Man, Bob Sapp is a vicious individual, man.
Dude, he was.
I mean, he won I don't know. He had a winning record for the first 10 fights.
Yeah, I mean, he was a horrible fighter, but
he's just such a massive.
From Green Mile look like a child.
Yeah, man. He's like what? He's like what? 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, I think he's yeah.
Disturbing.
Oh man, his traps had traps.
He's not what he was, but I mean, he's still a very intimidating dude. And dude, he's very funny, man. Like. At the fights they had him in Thailand, a couple of fights, he gets right in it. He's up for anything. He'll do any gag.
Yeah,
he's up for it.
I think he was in. Was he not in that movie with the Adam Sandler movie where they're all playing football? Is that not Bob Sapp and he plays that cryy guy? The long and short. Was he not? I
thought that was the same guy from Green Mile.
Is that Bob Sapp?
Maybe it was Bob Sapp.
I don't know, man.
Now we're getting in racist territory. Let's pull out of this.
How is that racist?
Bob Sapp.
I think that word is thrown around too much, man.
Yeah, he's in the longest yard.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. He was a big deal back in the day, man. I mean, his name still got some weight, but in the early 2000s in Asia, in Japan, he was huge. He was a freak show.
Yeah, he was
freak show.
bigger than like anything you could get in Japan.
It didn't
at
make
one point.
sense. But then he ended up getting his ass kicked. Like he lost like 4, 5, 6 fights in a row. Then it started getting embarrassing. He was losing the small guys, big guys, whatever. He was just getting his ass kicked.
Yeah,
he was just a gigantic maniac. He couldn't fight.
Man, he fought like
If he got you in the corner and started wailing on you, 350 also. Terrifying.
Yeah, it's man. I think he fought like Chemo Leopoldo. Like I'm looking at his record here now, man. Like he fought like some killers.
Yeah, so I'll give you.
That's gonna be deadly.
Exclusive on that. It's gonna happen. Little People Manager, man. I can't wait.
I can't wait, man.
Can't wait.
That's gonna be great. I can't wait to come over.
I'm gonna carry them into the ring in my arms. I got it all planned out. We had it all planned out. Buddy's all for it too, and the guy that runs it is like all the ideas I got. He says yes to. He greenlights all of them. So I'm like, buddy, don't fuck around, man.
Do you got any ideas?
Oh my God, dude, I got so many ideas. I
Like
can't
what?
fucking wait. Well, I carry them into the ring, first of all. I'll carry both of them in my arms. And my manager will just walk in the ring with both of them in my arms.
Set him down on the canvas.
Start with that.
So
you gotta have a catchphrase. You gotta have definitely a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Shit like that. I'll come up with all that. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have like that's yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be sick. I can't wait to watch that.
Man, next level. I come out of nowhere, something different. Like you were talking about earlier about all this shit. Like, what's over that now? Well, he's a manager for
little people.
Dude, how funny would that article be?
Right.
Like in the Herald.
Yeah.
On the cover.
Yes.
On the cover.
Oh my God, I see it now.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. I'm gonna go full like I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna pick up. I don't know. I'll maybe be like what was the guy with the megaphone in the '80s? Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart, I think it was. The wrestling manager.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart on the megaphone.
Yeah,
all
I'll be
the
a Jimmy
time.
Hart type.
Dude, Jimmy Hart.
You guys know wrestling, see? I like.
I don't know wrestling. I knew old wrestling. I loved.
Yeah.
I loved '80s, '90s. I don't
Yeah.
like the new shit.
Old-
I don't mind it, but it's all like it's just tits and ass and boys talking for fucking an hour.
Yeah.
I stopped in the millennium. Like, it's all 80s and 90s, mostly 90s for me. Like, when I was 13 to 14 years old, that's when I
like
stopped.
that.
I remember the very specific episode that I stopped. It was after some pay-per-view, and the roster, it was shortly after they bought WCW, so they had, like, double the roster. So the roster was getting massive, and they had, like, all these insane stars. They didn't know what to do.
Then they got all
Right, and they didn't know what to do with them all. So they had a draft. Like the Monday Night Raw, there was barely even any wrestling on it. It was all drama because they do that, right? It's a lot of drama leading up to it, right? It's like a soap opera for teenagers, is what it is, right? There's all this drama. They might talk for a half hour and have like a 5-minute match, right? And you did this to me last week, blah blah blah. So, anyways, the whole fucking episode, there was like 2 matches in like 3 hours, and they had a draft. And it was like Vince McMahon versus his son Shane McMahon. Shane was turning his back on his father, and Shane was like, and Shane was like, SmackDown's gonna be bigger than Raw ever has been, and like Vince McMahon's running Raw, and Shane, and he was like, and they had a draft, and so then fucking Vince McMahon takes like The Rock for Raw, and then and Shane takes like Stone Cold for SmackDown, and then someone takes Undertaker for Raw and Kane for SmackDown. Right now, you're someone like me that had basic cable. You only had TSN with Raw. Right, SmackDown's on our channel. And that makes you want to fucking pay the fucking $5 a month to get Spike TV or whatever the fuck it was that was running.
Oh, Vince McMahon is a business,
Right,
like mogul.
So but when they did that and they split the roster in half, and now like half like. There's a bunch of wrestlers that I wanted to watch and I can't watch and yada yada. And it's like some are on Raw, and there's no cross. There's no like I was like fuck this, and that was the very last episode I watched. I was like 13, 14 years old.
When Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, that was like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That year.
Iconic.
In my world in sports. That was huge.
Lifted up.
I used to love Randy Macho Man Savage, and I love
the Cream.
And then there was
Shut your mouth, Elizabeth.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Lex Luthor body slam Yokozuna. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was the next generation's version of Hulk Hogan. Right.
He broke the ring then.
Dude, it was crazy. Yeah.
So,
the ring collapsed.
Yeah. So Hulk Hogan doing that to Andre the Giant was bigger, but Lex Luthor body slamming Yokozuna was like our version, because it was like a year-long campaign of like
600 pounds or
it was like who can body slam him, and every week Yokozuna was fighting somebody different, and at some point in the match they try to body slam him, and he just like stand his ground, and then like beat him down, and then it was like SummerSlam, I believe, outdoor. I think it was in Tokyo. It's like 100,000 people, and fucking Lex Luthor, who's fucking juiced to the fucking titties, he takes him and fucking 100,000 people goes fucking nuts, man.
Tokyo Dome, I think. But that was like, what's his face, Yokozuna. So I was living in Asia at the time. That's when I was into kickboxing, going to the shows all the time. And that was when, what was it called? It wasn't one championship. It was...
Pride?
Pride.
Yeah.
It was huge. And I went and we got K1. And we got front row seats to K1. And Yokozuna started fighting in K1. And people in Japan were so pissed off because he was like a sumo god, and they thought he was disrespecting the game, like getting involved in this shit, right? And he's like 500 pounds, whatever. And who the fuck was he fighting? He was fighting this Korean guy, I think. And we were watching this live. I'm front row watching this. Yokozuna, this big fat cunt in the fucking ring. He's going, and the guy head kicked him, or neck kicked him right in the neck. And he was 450, and he literally was in a cartoon. And he went,
no way.
Dude, it was crazy.
Man, who was that?
Knocked him out cold. I'm sure you can fucking find it, but it was crazy to see. You just heard like, just in the neck, you heard the neck meat that he had. He's so big. We were front row, and then he just like, boom. It was fucked.
I went back the other night and started watching The Dark Side of the Ring on Crave. Have you heard of it? But it is wicked docs, man. Excellent.
The bars are low. Like I said, Jake the Snake Roberts and Randy Macho Man Savage are my favorite. And Jake Snake, does stories now and shit. Comedy. Like, I'd love to hook up with him for a week.
Well, not with them, but they both do it.
Yeah, they both do it. And imagine the stories they got. I mean,
yeah.
I loved them for two different reasons, right? Because Macho Man was so flamboyant and so insane, and Elizabeth was hot as fuck. And Jake Snake was just so simple, coming in the fucking ring with a fucking snake in a bag. You know what I mean? He just looked like such a rough dude.
What, Jake the Snake?
Yeah, man. His doc on that Behind the Mat is sad, but it's amazing.
It is. Scott Hall as well. Did they raise a remote?
I think about that all the time. Like, we talk about it all the time when we're on tour, right? Like, people will be like, oh, comedy is hard. It must be so hard. And like, at the grand scheme of things, man, it's not fucking hard. We're lucky to get to do what we're at.
And then there's Thrusty Justy.
Right. And imagine what wrestlers do. They do what we do. They go on the road like us, but they put their bodies on the fucking line.
They got one of the craziest schedules. It's like they do like in 365 days, I think they do like 210 shows or something.
It's nuts. We met a guy. Remember, it was awesome. We were at the...
I know. You just missed it. I said Thrust... You just missed it. Went right over your head. I said, and then you got Thrusty Justy. I was teeing it up for...
Yeah, nice. So we met this guy at the Kamloops. The boys were just volunteers at the Kamloops Comedy Festival. They seemed really nice. And then after the show, we were like, hey, you want to go get something to eat? And they were just volunteering at the show, at the door or whatever. So just Mrs. and some fella, and then they start talking. And Mrs. ends up, she sells sex toys for a living. We're like, okay, this is getting interesting. And Buddy's a wrestler. We're like, what? We're like, you guys are, instead of like, them being interested in us, we were like, please tell me more. And Buddy got, his wrestling name was Justin Cider.
Oh my God!
Cider. And dude couldn't have been a nicer fella.
And he's the nicest guy.
Fella. She couldn't have been more sweet. Two of them were so sweet. Talking about the hustle, how to make it happen. His moves called the Thrusty Justy.
The Thrusty Justy. He grabs guys in the ring and then like humps them. That's his finishing move. And it's called the Thrusty Justy.
We were dying laughing.
Justin Cider breaks out the Thrusty Justy.
Right. And this woman sells dildos and stuff. And they're like the happiest couple you ever met.
Where was this?
Kamloops.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Well, but it was Sam and Aaron that went out for.
But the bars are kind of going on the West Coast now. They got a bit of a circuit. It was like wicked, man. Cool to hear.
Who's the guy that I'm blanking out? And people, if there's actual wrestling fans watching this, they're gonna hate me. But the guy that went down got body slammed by the Taker through the cage.
Mankind.
Well, but what's his actual? Mick Foley. Mick Foley. Fuck, I'm glad I got it. He's like, to me,
fans will be all over you. What you gonna do, brother?
It's still real to me, damn it! Remember that guy, that like fat guy?
Name, boy.
He was here. Like a bunch of my buddies from the Pearl They're like wrestling fans. Like I didn't
I was
get into
supposed
it.
to
I was
open up
never
for 'em.
into it. But like I can watch like Dark Side of the Ring on Crave and stuff like that and get into it. Like that's sick. Like I know The Undertaker. I know like The Rock and like Stone Cold and like all that stuff. But he was here at CLB Armory. It's like the real life version of Mickey Rourke.
It was supposed to be Club
The
1.
wrestler. Was it supposed to be Club 1?
It was supposed to be Club 1.
That's way better than CLB Armory.
Because I was involved. I was supposed to open for him. And then the Club 1, but yeah.
What?
Because his manager contacted me. Mick Foley's manager contacted me.
Yeah, man. What?
And and then they kind of went, I got like ghosted for a week or something. I was like, what's going on? And they got back to me. And there was some other promotion / agency or something. Somehow caught when he was coming and they got involved on it. Because I was going to like open and like kind of like, didn't you see the following I had? And I was going to like help promote the show.
Wow.
And host / open for him. And then it kind of went dark for like a week and a half. And then it was like, yeah, and I forget what it was, some promotion company.
Wow.
Got their hands on it, and then they moved it to the CLB Armory.
That must have been like nearly huge for you, I think.
You
were excited for that.
You know what's crazy is I have had in my career like a few, probably like a half a dozen to maybe a dozen like really, really awesome moments this close to happening.
Right.
And not. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many, like, that and it just don't come together. And it's supposed to come together and it don't. Like,
man, it's Mick Foley.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I I'm not even.
No, I know, but like he got slammed through onto like thumbtacks and shit, didn't he? Like he was just committed to commit. That's like commitment to a bit.
It's insane.
Legend.
Jump off a ladder. He would jump 30 feet and shit like this.
Like the story behind it, and like again, I didn't even watch wrestling. I just watched like the behind the scene. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen, and I think they were up walking on the cage. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like they were walking on the cage, and like the snaps for like the cage were like, like snapping and stuff, and they were like, he was like, I can't, and it's like 25 feet above the ring or whatever, and then they were whispering to each other. And he's like, I can't slam you through it because you're going to go through it. And then Mick was like, you fucking go for it or something like that. And he just picked him up and just slammed him through the cage and he just plummeted into the ring.
They could easily die.
Easily snap your neck and die.
Easily.
And he's just like, no, do it.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember hearing that
balls.
too. Told him to do it. And he does it. And then Undertaker comes out and he's like, holy fuck, like, are you dead? Or whatever, or like, you know, like, should I pin you?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And he's like, continue to fight. And they fought for like another 20 minutes after that.
After he fell 20 feet
and
from the ring.
Then he takes him and throws him through a table after that.
Yeah.
And not only did he take him through the cage 25 feet, but when he landed on a chair and thumbtacks.
No, I do remember that. I mean, the cage thing didn't even make sense physically looking at it.
No, I know.
What just happened?
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
That was a big
and see,
day.
like, I didn't even watch wrestling, and I know about that story, and I think it's cool. You know what I mean? And then he's in the CLB Armory, signing socks.
Well, that's what it is, man. That's
you don't need to watch baseball to know that Babe Ruth pointing to the fucking stands, hitting the home runs, fucking deadly.
Well, that's the thing. You think about
Right.
You think about all those wrestlers, man. Like, fuck, man. There's probably less than 50 wrestlers that got money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Living life on the
And
road.
most of the ones that I grew up watching are dead.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them dead.
Roids, complications.
That life is crazy. It's not natural, man. You can't.
There's nothing natural. Ronda Rousey looked like she was a monster in UFC.
We're on the road complaining about our backs.
I was going to say, it's almost like...
It's
like you guys going on the road, but like juiced out of your mind and like just doing every substance known to man.
And doing it for 45 years.
Sitting down with Andre the Giant, daring him to drink 100 beer.
Yeah.
Restarting your hypothalamus.
Yeah, why don't you break that on tour? That's what we need.
Yeah, you're like 60 years old and people still want you to come out. Like, people with Ric Flair still be fighting, man.
Right.
Like, they like, right? I remember Superfly Jimmy Snuka. You remember him?
Amazing.
Right? Yeah, amazing. And then he was like in like late 90s. He's like 60 years old, needs the money, and he's coming out fucking almost with a cane. But they still wanted to be Jimmy Fly Snuka from the 70s, right? And he get up at the turnbuckle late 50s, early 60s, and then fucking turned the clock back 30 years.
And that's the real life wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Great movie.
You know what I mean? What a great movie that is.
movie.
Marissa Tomei.
Who?
Is it Marissa Tomei? Yeah, the wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Do you ever watch it? You didn't, didn't you?
Amazing movie. Incredible
Oh
movie.
man, incredible movie.
What about-
I think
who's
he won
it
a
about?
lot. I believe he was.
I don't think it's about anybody in particular, is it? It's
it
just
might
about
be
that
based
life.
off.
It might have been based off Jake Snake. Maybe.
Could have been, yeah.
It had a little bit of Jake Snake vibes. Yeah, just about, just a degenerate dude who's a wrestler and his life is all shit besides wrestling.
Pretty sure it won an
Mickey
Academy
Rourke-
Award.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke
Right.
killed it.
Yeah, he'd jump down the mat or whatever, or someone would hit him in the face with a chair, and he'd have like razor blades stuffed in his wrist strap, and he'd just like cut his head.
Yeah.
And then put it
Well,
back
they'd
in.
all do that.
I know that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, the bars are wild, man. I remember.
And they do it well because, like, you know that. If you're a fan, you know that's what happens. And I'll be watching men looking, trying to catch them doing it, and I can't ever catch them doing it.
No.
Next thing you know, their head comes up and their fucking face full of blood. I'm like, when the fuck did he do it? Because, like,
Remember what the guy was telling us, Justin Sider, which blew my mind out. The wrestler that we met, Justin Sider, right? Amazing. The guy that we met in Alberta, who was the wrestler, he was saying like the boys would meet up because we were really interested in it. They just meet up at an event or whatever. Didn't know who they're fighting. Then they just go backstage and talk about it for a few minutes and go out and do it.
Right.
That's fucking insane.
That's insane. Yeah.
Basically, just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Do the thing. Hey, we'll do this. You do the little thing. Do the thing. Give me a leg drop or body slam. Okay, we'll do that.
Right.
yeah, and you'll
Act
win,
like
with,
a
and
herd.
you'll win with this finishing move. Boom, done.
Right.
No rehearse.
That to me is crazy.
That's crazy.
That to me is
Yeah.
nuts, man.
You know what else is crazy? Playing basketball in Detroit. Segway.
Great segue.
That's to me is crazy. What was that like?
It's funny. I don't think I've ever talked about it
What year was
to
it?
anybody at any time. 1992 and 3.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
I was 1.
yeah, man. It was nuts, man. I was such a basketball fucking geek growing up. Like, loved it, ate it, drank it, slept it. I just wanted to be the first Newfoundlander to go to NCAA, and it wasn't even about the first Newfoundlander. I wanted that to be a thing, but like I wanted to go to NCAA no matter what. Right? I was getting recruited a little bit in Canada, and I was good, but I was like, "Fuck this! I'm going to the States." Right? And I read an article in a Sports Illustrated article in like 1991. So I was in grade 11, and it was about this coach Ben Calzo who he lived in Tennessee, and long story short, it was a crazy story, man. He lived in a house. Their house burnt down. He was one of 11 kids. Their parents his mom and 11 kids walked across the border to Alabama, stayed with his sister, used to bathe in the Tennessee River. Long story short, he takes the bus up to Flint, Michigan, gets a job pumping gas, goes to Central Michigan, ends up making the Pistons. Crazy story. But his story was nuts, and he was talking about how he helped kids get scholarships, and he's all about helping people who are dreamers and shit. And I'm reading this, I'm like, man, I should call him, man. He'd totally understand me, man. Right? I'm like fucking 16 and shit. And this before the internet, none of that. And I carried it around in my pocket for a year. Truly, the story. I had the Sports Illustrated article in my pocket. I used to always read it and just, I don't know what it did. Just gave me comfort. It just for whatever reason. And only my buddy Sean in Mount Pearl knew I used to always have it on me. And then I was like, fuck this, I'll call him. Look, again, there's no internet, no nothing. I'm like, what do you do? So I called the operator in Mount Pearl, whatever, and I got the number to Cooley High School in Detroit. Called Cooley High and got the number to the athletic department. Got a hold of coach. I can't remember what I said, but it's basically like whatever. I'm pretty good at basketball. I want to go to scholarship. He's like, if you come down to Detroit, I'll have a look at you. If you come down to Detroit, and I was like, yep, I can be there next week because I was working at a gas station at the time. I had a bit of money, right? It's only a few $100 to get a flight to Windsor. So I flew to Windsor, which is on the border of Detroit, and he came pick me up in Windsor. And dude, it was crazy, man. Like I said, I haven't talked to anyone really about this. It's just something I don't tell people because it's so insane. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I know you know a bit about the culture, but you got it's so like when I first went there, it was just like coach was like first of all, he had this 3000 Mitsubishi GT, this fucking beautiful sports car with like an 8-ring CD player in the back. He was super pimp, right? And there's this big black dude come pick me up at the airport. I'm just like, hi. I don't know, who he is, really. And then he brings me to his house in Southfield, which is on the suburb of Detroit. Nice little beautiful house. So the first night was cool. Around, I'm like, yeah, it's nice, man, coach. And then the next day we got up and drove to the school. And when I talk about like ghetto, dude, it was like. Because I'm writing a book about some crazy shit I've done, right? And so I got this chapter pretty much written. So I know this to be fact because I've researched it. So it was rated the #1 most dangerous neighborhood in America at the time.
No way.
I had no idea at the time because again I didn't research. I found out that like 5 years ago when I was researching it. And man, it was fucking crazy, man. It was like you see out of a movie, but worse. It was like metal detectors everywhere, gangs, fucking. I used to watch kids kids would hang out the bathroom window on the second floor and they'd throw guns up to each other to avoid the metal detectors.
No way.
Yeah, shit like that, dude. It was crazy, man. People getting shot. Like, I didn't see people get shot, but I showed up later after they were shot, like minutes later. It was fucking horrific. I'm from Mount Pearl, you know what I mean?
Right. O'Donnell Patriots.
Dude's dead on the ground, right? Next to a chicken sandwich, half-eaten chicken sandwich. It was fucking... Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy. But it was also amazing. Man.
That's
That was the
cool.
crazy part of it. Yeah, it was kind of wild to be like... I was like this weird... Like, people thought I was nuts. Like, because I was the only white person. The only white person I saw for like a year. They also thought I was a cop or I was crazy, which I never understood the cop part. Because I was like, why would they have an undercover white cop in the ghetto of ghettos, Yeah,
that's like a suicide mission.
But they used to say to him all the time, you a cop, motherfucker? I'm like, no, man, I'm not a cop. What the fuck? And yeah, man, it was crazy. They were the 3-time state champions, so I ended up playing with a bunch of guys who went to the NBA and just like Maurice Taylor, Jalen Rose, all these guys.
Oh no way, Jalen Rose.
Yeah, Jalen was a big deal.
Like he's a Raptor. He was an old Raptor.
I played with him once at St. Cecilia's Church. That's like the big kind of where everybody hangs out in the summertime.
Yeah,
so that's where all the you come back. Like Glenn Rice, you guys might not remember guys like Glenn Rice was like the captain of Michigan when they won in '89. Michael Talley was the captain at Cooley High School. The high school.
Didn't he play with the Pistons?
No, he didn't
Talley
make the NBA, but he was the captain at Michigan when the Fab Five were there, and Jalen kind of took his shine. So Jalen came, he was better.
Okay,
kind of fucked up Talley's chance to get in the NBA. Yeah, man, it was crazy. Every day just balling and just playing, and then so I went down there the first time for 2 weeks. And, I did pretty good. And he goes, if you want to come back, you can stay at the house. And he offered me to stay at his place. I'm like, fuck, I will be back for sure.
Yeah.
So that was October 92. So I went back and just worked at the gas station as much as I could and just saved up money, went back in the new year and just lived at his house and just played ball all the time.
Holy smokes.
And ended up just whatever.
Man, no wonder you're a Pistons fan.
Yeah, and I was a Pistons fan before that.
I actually put it together like a couple days ago.
I was a Pistons fan before that because I got into basketball in like 87, really, when I really got into it when I was 12. And Isaiah Thomas was the shit. I love Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Everything about him.
Yeah.
Just how he handled the ball and stuff. So that's how I became a Pistons fan. So I was a Pistons fan before that. It was actually weird. There was 2 articles. Because me and my buddy were talking about this the other day. My buddy Sean was like, there was 2 articles. There was one about Kelso, and there was another article about some priest in Philadelphia who used to do the same. He used to help kids get scholarships and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to Philadelphia or Detroit in my stupid head.
Wow.
So nuts. And in my stupid head, I was so naive. I was like, I just want to play basketball, friends. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking like, oh, this is some dangerous shit. And I look back at it now, I feel bad because like they used to have 2 channels out of Detroit. So when I left, I think it was channel 7 and 11 here were Detroit channels. And so, mom and dad, could watch that shit. And it was like, it's just nonstop. Fucking murder, right? But yeah, man, it was amazing. Like I'm still processing it, if that makes any sense.
Right.
It was so nuts.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
The fact I was even there is mind blowing. Like this is a crazy story. So there was this rapper one time outside the school, and I didn't know anyone, and and basically didn't know anybody's names. It was all nicknames, right? Because it's the hood, right? You'd never be like, oh, that's Craig Johnson.
Right.
Like, oh, that's whatever. That's Tiny Leak or whatever the fuck his name is. And there was just a guy rapping outside the house. So I was always trying to keep my distance. Like I was around, but I was trying to just hide in the cut because like if I showed up, just being white could get me in trouble, right?
Right.
And like I couldn't go most places. I remember one time the boys were all going down to the roller rink, roller fucking skating, and I was like, oh, I'd love to go roller skating. The boys like, no, you can't go, man. It's too dangerous. And I'm come from Mount Pearl. I'm like, roller skating? But they were talking about after roller skating out in the parking lot, shit goes down.
Right.
And just because I'm white, you're not. It won't end.
You skating with my bitch?
Right. All that shit. All that shit. What's up, Canada? The fuck you doing here? And yeah, man. what the fuck was I just saying about it? Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was just crazy. All the stuff that happened. It was just, and I met so many great people, and I'm still talking to a bunch of them.
Yeah,
yeah, because I want to go down to Detroit and do a show, and yeah, I still talk to Coach. He's in New York now, and it was wild, man. It doesn't make sense. I did it, and it doesn't make sense.
right.
Like I would be terrified to go back to the neighborhoods I used to hang out in.
It's almost like if you thought about it before you did it,
Right.
it almost seems like you pulled the trigger.
Yeah, man. It was like
If you thought about it before you did it, it would be like you wouldn't go.
dude, I was naive as fuck. I just wanted to
If
play
you
ball.
if you ask somebody, hey, what do you think I should do? They'd be like, you should definitely not go down there. You're gonna die.
Yeah, man. I had a knife pull on me, I had a gun pull on me. I had people talk shit to me all the time. But most times I just was quiet, and like as much as I talk, you guys know me, but down in Detroit I didn't say a whole lot. I just stayed fucking quiet. Stayed fucking quiet.
Yeah.
And mind my fucking
Oh
business.
shit,
Yeah,
man! You know my memory. Did you ever whip across to Windsor to see Tea Party play when they were in their prime?
No.
I couldn't wait to ask that question because they're from Windsor, right?
Yeah.
So when I lived in Toronto for like 2
I'll be
years.
back tomorrow, boys. I gotta go see Tea Party.
Yeah, right. You're like, no, man. I was
You're saying it in Detroit, or as some say, Detroit.
No, I was gonna let you away with that one. Detroit.
I was gonna say. I thought you said that like because it was like the slang of Detroit. I was
No,
like,
it's almost 3 syllables. See?
yeah, Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Cause like they went through like that's like a crazy like is it the east side? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, East Side is crazy. I was on the northwest side at the
And you
time.
know
I lived on the east side, so that was the crazy part. But I went to school on the northwest.
Whenever they went marry,
It was on Hubble and Finkel, which is the Cooley High School, which is just famous. It was an amazing high school too. They used to call it the Castle on the Corner. So 3,800 students.
Holy
It
fuck!
was this massive, beautiful building. It was built during the Renaissance time. I think it was built in like the 20s, and it had the nicest fucking theater. It had maybe like, I'm guessing now, but it might have been like a 600, 500 seat beautiful theater in the high school. It was crazy, man.
19 times the size of Buren Bay, man.
Yeah.
3,800 people. No wonder they had metal detectors.
So you just
man.
come around, dude. Metal detectors every day. You had to go through the metal detectors. We were working into school. And you know what's crazy? So then because I was white and I started getting a bit of traction and started getting a bit noticed, or whatever. Then the Detroit Free Press came and I'll send you the cover if you want to use it for fucking whatever, some attachments for the podcast. They came and did an article on me, and at the time, White Men Can't Jump was the big movie, right? With Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Shit. And so
Wesley Snipes, right?
Right, Wesley Snipes. So on the cover of the cover of the Detroit Free Press, the biggest newspaper in Detroit at the time, and again, newspapers were big then because this is no internet, was Newfies Can Jump.
Really?
And it's me doing a layup over the best player in Detroit at the time, Brian Ponder, who should have easily been in the fucking NBA, but shit didn't work out. He was like 32 points a game. Fucking crazy, man. Yeah, and a big article
That's
about
sick.
And it was made up, like it wasn't even real. It was like some of it was real, but it was like he told his father or something like that he was moving to Detroit and if he didn't help him out with that, he was going to hitchhike on a fish truck. This is in the article, right? So I'm like, I didn't say that, right? So what they must have done, again, no internet, they must have literally got an encyclopedia or something. Saw Newfoundland fishing, made it
up.
Tried to make it right romantic. Anyway, it was fucking insane. And the guy's name was Juan Gonzalez, this Mexican guy. So he was the reporter. So he came to the school and followed me around for a couple of days to do the article. So now here I am, not only the only white kid in the school, I'm being followed around by a Mexican journalist in the hood. Dude,
Sounds like he's half Asian, half Mexican.
Wow.
Juan
Dude, I was so fucking scared.
Gonzalez.
I was so fucking
This is just bigger.
Keep your racism on that side of the table, sir.
Just to let you know, Juan Gonzalez is fully
It's as
Mexican.
Mexican as it gets. Yeah. It's not
John Gonzalez.
It's not Tikka Masala Gonzalez. It's Juan.
Sounds like he's half Asian, half Mexican.
Where are you from? Buren Bay. Where you from? Buren Bay. Juan Gonzalez is scary. It's a scary name. Ooh, Juan. But anyway,
Once upon a time.
I was terrified because I remember he was like, let's go down to the cafeteria and get some shots. I'm like, not a fucking chance, dude.
Yeah.
We're not going down to the cafeteria right now.
Yeah.
No fucking way, because that shit is dangerous. Because some people were mad at me just because I was getting attention because they were way better than me.
Yeah,
They
you're an
were.
import.
And it was like getting attention because I was white, and they weren't wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like I was good, but I wasn't, as good as they were. But it was awesome, man. It was like playing with Maurice Taylor. He ended up playing with the Clippers, signed like a $7 million contract. And dude, he was awesome. I remember hanging out. We used to hang out, and dude, he was so funny. I remember he used to drive. The coach used to let him drive his Aerostar van, He was only 17 at the time. He was driving around an Airstar van. He was 6'9", like best player in Michigan by far. Went to Henry Ford High School. He used to come over to Cooley because Cooley was the best runs, the best
Yes, man.
scrimmages, whatever.
Right.
And he'd be driving around an Airstar van. He goes, I'm going to buy 7 or 8 of these bitches when I'm in the pros. And I just sitting there like, yeah. Right? But he ended up fucking getting $72 million.
7 or 8 Aerostars.
Yeah, right. He thought that was cool as fuck.
Right. He got $72 million?
Yeah, he signed...
Who did?
Maurice Taylor.
Who's this?
Played for Michigan. Played in the NBA for a minute. He was good, man. He was like, he was almost an all-star. He was like
you played in the NBA for a minute, 72 mil.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think it was like, what's 72 was... I don't know how long to count. Whatever, 10 years, 8 years, whatever the fuck it was. But he got his money. But yeah, man, it was fucking.
What position? What position did you play? What were you? Small forward. You were point guard.
I was much smaller. I was like at the time I was 6'2", 180, ripped.
Really?
Dunk, 2 hands, no problem, all that shit.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like, that was one of my biggest. So this is funny. So I played all around, did all this shit. One of my biggest basketball highlights ever is almost dunking on Maurice Taylor. Dude, this is hilarious. So we're playing in Cooley High School, and I'm playing there all the time. I'm working out in the gym all the time, so I know the gym well. They literally had these old wooden floors, so you had this bit of bounce that was like inside the key. There's this point that if you jumped off it, you get a little extra.
Right.
So anyway, we're playing, right? The gym's fucking packed. Again, I'm the only white boy, like something out of a movie. And I go in, I just go down the middle, but they don't close on me. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to try. And I went up, and then fucking he came out of nowhere. He came out, and I went too high, which never happens. I can't jump that high. And I back-rimmed it like a motherfucker. Like I back-rimmed it, it flew into the stands. Dude, the place fell out. The game stopped. People fucking ran out of the stands, started pushing me.
Oh, man.
Dude, it was hilarious.
That's sick.
By missing a dunk.
Right. Yeah. Like, that white boy got up.
Yeah, that's it. And boys were like, and then literally, I remember there was guys then who never spoke to me, that after that, they were cool with me. That's how it was.
Really?
Yeah, there was that kind of shit going on.
White boy can ball.
Yeah, man. That was it.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it was guys who never talked to me. Like, then we'd be getting a drink at the fountain. I'd be like, good job, man, or a little pat on the arse or something like that.
Right, they find you had to earn the respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like the original white chocolate.
But I remember sitting there. So I never did play D1 after. I played JUCO in Ohio and then came back and played at Cape Breton. But I remember all the boys were like, they were the best in the state, right? So they had like, 7 or 8 guys who were going D1, like boys going to Michigan, Oregon, UNLV. All these guys are playing on the high school team, right? And the boys get their letters. So they get letters every week from recruits, like dozens of letters. So here I am. I want one letter. I'll go to any D1 school. If you give me a scholarship, I'll fucking go, right? You know, I wasn't getting letters and shit, whatever. And then the boys get letters, and the boys be like, man, fuck, Ball State, where the fuck is that? And just throw it. They wouldn't even open it. And they'd be like, shit like that. They were like, dude, it was crazy. They were
really?
Like, dude, it was so fucking fun. They're like, Creighton? What the fuck is Creighton? Like, Creighton, throw that. So the boys be opening up their letters. We'd be all sitting on these aluminum stands, and I'd just be sitting there, and you just see letters floating down, and just be dozens of them just on the ground, not even open.
Wishing you could just pick one up and fake
Dude,
it.
I used to pick them up and open them. I used to be like wondering what they were saying. It would just be like whatever, just boys begging them to come to a recruitment visit or whatever.
Wow.
The boys like, I don't fucking know, no goddamn. Illinois
Right.
State.
I want Duke. I want like.
Dude, it was all about Michigan then.
Yeah.
Michigan State. If you're in Michigan, it's Michigan. And dude, the Michigan State coach was there every single day because he wanted a couple of these players, like Stan Joplin. I practiced with Michigan State, which is a big deal. His coach was like tight with the recruit. Brought me over to Michigan State, ended up playing, like just practicing with them that day. But that was crazy. They had 3 NBA players. Sean Respert, you guys are too young, but Sean Respert was the fucking man back then. He was averaging like 30. I think he scored 35 against Michigan in the first half back then. Shit like that. So it was him and Anthony Pig Miller and John Garavilla. Anyway, yeah, and Eric Snow. You probably know Eric Snow, played with Iverson, right? Went to the finals.
Yeah.
So he was their point guard. Dude, he's fucking terrifying. In my head, I was just like, just pass the ball, screen away. Don't turn it over. Dude, he was 6'4". Dude, he's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
terrified. He was 6'4", long as fuck. His arms, dude, was so scary.
like Kawhi, like before Kawhi.
Dumb shit. And I just remember going, holy fuck, this is next level. I remember just being in the Breslin Center, just going, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was amazing. Met Magic. Went to the Magic Johnson Round Ball Classic, which is like the McDonald's All-American game in Michigan. And Coach goes, hey, you want to meet Magic? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to meet Magic.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe he went over. And this was after the HIV shit. It was a couple years after that. Dude, I remember, I couldn't believe how big he was. Like, to me, in my head, Magic was this long, skinny man, right? Who just ran up and down the court. Dude, he was fucking jacked, had a suit on. His shoulders were like twice the size of mine. I was just looking at him like, man.
One of the best. I could watch him pass the ball all day.
Dude. And Joe Dumars, this is really cool. So Joe Dumars, again, Pistons.
Yeah, he played in the Pistons. He was a captain, wasn't he? He was one of the team captains.
MVP of the finals.
Next to Grant Hill or something.
I think, or 90. MVP of the finals one year. Anyway, he had a place called the Joe Dumars Fieldhouse in Shelby Township, which is a suburb of Detroit. And they were having a summer league there, so we went out there, and he was there. You got to realize now, I'm a fucking fanboy from Mount Pearl. You know, I'm trying to be cool around the boys, but I'm not cool, right? I'm like, what the fuck? That's Joe Dumars?
Yeah.
Right? And I went down. I remember being taller than him, which made me laugh because I was 6'2" at the time. I grew like an inch after that. I grew an inch when I was 20, which is weird. But he was only like 6'1". I remember just being a little taller than him, and that freaking me out a bit, right? Because I idolized him, right? I'm looking at him like he was just a dude, and we just shot around in the gym together before the game, just shooting.
Wow.
Like, this is fucking. And again, dude, I have no cameras, no picture, because then there's no.
Yeah.
I couldn't take, you couldn't do it. That's how you get in trouble. If I just whipped out a camera back then, and again, it wouldn't be a fucking cell phone camera, it'd be a fucking Polaroid or something. If I whipped out a camera, I could be in trouble.
Right.
In trouble.
For sure.
For sure.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm still like.
Yeah.
I want to do a lot with it.
That's definitely book-worthy.
Yeah, it's definitely book-worthy, man, because it's or something. There's an idea I got to do. There's a one-man show idea I want to do with it. There's a book idea, but yeah, it's so bizarre. Yeah, the fact I was even there is bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like this big, gigantic fly on the wall that everybody just let me be there.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and I remember watching like girls dance and stuff like. They would do dance because again, our gym class, right? Fucking Newfoundland, fucking dodgeball, and a bunch of fat chicks playing volleyball. You know what I mean? That's Newfoundland gym class, right? Oh, if you don't want to play, just sit on the stage. I know you forgot your shoes here. Right?
Yeah.
But down there was like girls were like they started dance routine. They started dance routine in September. They work every day.
It's repeating on him.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to derail you, man.
Don't apologize for that.
I'm not stopping laughing at that just cause. I got to get that one out.
Sheila got her shaking right on the stage. Forgot my shoes, miss.
Dude, like you just bring us.
No, you didn't, Sheila.
You just brought me back.
You just bring us in a 20-odd minute in like athletic peak intensity hole, and then being so down that hole, and then fucking dog-legged to fucking.
He's got the eyes on him now, like the meme eyes, like
what happened to you, bud?
Gym class, man.
Like you were smoking weed behind our backs.
No, but I got 3 or 4 beers. I mean, that's all it needs, though.
I get it. But anyway, yeah, it was nuts. But anyway, I used to watch these girls do a dance routine. So they would do a full-on dance routine, like start in September, and then in December, again, that theater I was talking about, they'd present it. And dude, again, I'm coming from Mount Pearl. I would sit there and watch those girls be fascinated with what they did. It was like a full-on amazing dance routine. Shit
right.
Like that. We'd be playing for money all the time. Like we call it bones. Like you put dollars down. We play for money all the time in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's hood shit.
Yeah, some real hood shit. Like some stuff I can't say because other people involved. But
yeah.
Yeah, dude, crazy hood shit.
That's deadly, man.
And I was just like, "Hi, friends."
Yeah.
Bounce, bounce.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
I went to O'Donnell.
Yeah. I'm a patriot.
Yeah.
Hello, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts. It's still nuts.
Sometimes my mom won't let me walk to Wendy's Tim Hortons. Or it wasn't Wendy's Tim Hortons then.
Down in Detroit.
Dude, I remember the stray dogs used to scare the fuck out of me. It'd be like, you turn a corner sometimes and it'd be like 6 pit bulls just in the parking lot. Like stray pit bulls. And I'm like, fuck.
Holy fuck.
So scary. You'd see them, you're like, what do you do, man? Like, just walk.
Yeah. And they already killed 3 people that day, so you're safe?
Man. Yeah, because everyone had pit bulls because, it's dangerous and shit, or there was drug houses or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. It was nuts, man.
Yeah, man. That's cool.
The D.
Detroit
Shout out
Pistons. My Pistons. I remember, like, because I don't remember. Like, I knew the name Grant. Was it Grant Hill? Mm-hmm. Jerry Dumar, and there's like I don't remember. Well, Bill Lampier is like that's the kind of like he's a little bit before them.
Talking about like Chauncey and Rashid.
Chauncey Billups, man, Richard Hamilton, like The Mask, and Ben Wallace. Like that was to me that I loved the Pistons back then. Like I was a Lakers fan just because Kobe. Like Kobe and Shaq were just polarizing. Like they would play him on NTV, and that's the only channel I had. And then, but they would play the Pistons. Like Ben Wallace, just juiced. He's just jacked. Like
I love
took
Ben
no
Wallace.
shit.
Good, man.
Yeah, like just block him and get out of my house. Like he had that dog. Tayshaun Prince, I used to love that lank. He's like the original Slim Reaper, man. I thought.
From Compton, he was
dangerous. He put about 12 points a game, but they're dangerous 12 points a game.
Was he 12? No, he would get
14.
20s.
Scatter game.
No,
but he wasn't like.
He seemed a lot better.
Yeah,
he was like
right, exactly.
Maybe, yeah.
Exactly.
If you look up his stats,
yeah, because his 3-pointers were worth 6.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah,
he's putting them in. Yeah. But I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah, we should definitely fucking wrap it up.
First time I ever talked about that. It's hard.
I tell you what, I want to keep. I don't know how much batteries are actually left these cameras because it's been 2.5 hours.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's I know. So I think now is a good time to stop it right now
Yeah.
because I could go for fucking hours.
Can you? I'm not sure. Your eyes are almost closed over there.
Baby, I'm just gonna start it.
I go at least another.
I'll tell you what.
30 seconds.
Let's throw some new batteries in that and do another 2.5 hours.
Okay.
I'm ready to go, baby.
Yeah, man. Let's shut it down. That was a daily chat, though.
It was.
Yeah, man.
Few
Great
beers.
box. Deadly. I'm happy for you. This is a deadly setup, man.
Yeah, we think it's gonna be great too, and obviously you're gonna be back fucking many more times. Like you're here now for the next fucking last few months now.
Yeah, at least we're gonna. Me and Holly been talking about who knows with this COVID shit, like traveling across the world again. It's not the time.
No,
It's not
that's
the time.
right.
So we'll see. I'm happy to be home.
Well, just more
you'll get
opportunities
sick
for
of it
shows
eventually.
and podcasts and everything else, man. Fucking hanging out,
man.
being badass.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not your guy, pal.
Buddy.
Yeah, and so look down this one here on the right. Tell people where they can follow you, man. BrianAylward.com, BrianAylwardComedy.com.
Yeah, just at Brian Aylward Comedy on Instagram, Facebook. At Brian Aylward Comedy.
Yeah.
Yes, give me a follow.
Yeah, and BrianAylwardComedy.com, and make sure you check out all the stuff. Big in Asia on Amazon Prime. It's a big fucking deal.
Check it out. Yeah, big
In other spots in Asia.
Streaming stuff is all over the place.
That's
Just
right.
look him up on TikTok. You can find him there, too.
Yeah.
On TikTok, and you'll find
Found
one.
Matt
somebody mimicking his, right? Yeah.
I love it.
And of course, we got the myth, the man, the legend, Tyler McDonald. Right here. I'm Colin Hollett. We'll be doing it again. Talk to you.